Welcome, brother.
Welcome, man. Nice to meet you.
Appreciate it. Hell yeah. So you got a good setup.
Yeah, let me bring some light toward my face a little bit here. There we go.
I don't usually say too much about that because sometimes people don't want light on them, either in the room or something. They're like, no, I'll just keep it dark.
Well, this is not my first rodeo. I mean, I've got a whole full-on setup. Like I'm using my Canon to capture me. I don't even know if I think it's in focus.
Looks good, yeah.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
If I move around and falls out, let me know. I'll adjust it because I got to do it manually.
Oh, okay. No, no, that's good.
Cool.
It's good. I got this webcam that I've been using for like 5 years. And I looked
Nice.
it up. Honestly, I looked it up. It's still one of the top rated ones. It's
Right
crazy.
on.
No shit.
I
I
was
was like,
gonna
maybe
get
I'll
like
get
a
a better one.
Logitech. Yeah, I was gonna pick something up, but I just never got around to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a Logitech C9 something, 9 something. And I was like, last weekend, I thought, maybe it's time to upgrade it. Um, I'll see what like maybe a one that's better focus or colors. I don't know. I mean, it looks good, but it's been a while. So I looked it up and I'm like four different sites that do ratings, like the top 15 or the top 10 webcams. This was on there. I was like, okay,
Nice.
it's like in the top five. Like, holy
Can't
shit,
go wrong.
leave it. It ain't
I
broke,
mean,
don't fix it.
yeah, I've bought a lot of Logitech stuff over the years, especially for PC, and it's always worked great. I've never had an issue. I'm like still using a trackball mouse that I've had forever.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh man, I haven't used a trackball in a while, bro. Okay.
that's the way I get around in life, man.
Yeah. Right. Nice. So let me shout out my sponsors real quick. Skirmish. Everyone's heard me talk about skirmish.net. Uh, Skirmish is a data tracking system for your airsoft gameplay. It's actually the only tracking system out there that tracks all the stuff on the field plus your individual stats.
That's cool.
No other system does that, and it goes with you. So if you have this bracelet, then um, this one you personalize to you. So you buy this bracelet, like you can have ones that they'll give them out at the field um, for like if you don't want to buy one. So it won't track your individual stats, but you'll be able to play the game that day with whatever kind of setup they have going on. But this one here, when you go home, you take this with you, and no matter which event you go to, as long as they have the skirmish system there that they're using, you can go on and see all your stats from every event. It's pretty cool, man. And yeah, I think it's ahead of its time, right? Because there's a lot of field owners that I've talked with about this thing, and they're like, "Nah, no, so we have our own kind of." And I understand that if they have their own system, they put a lot of time into it, but
Hmm.
it's still nothing does what this does. So, shout out Skirmish. If you guys want to find out more, go to skirmish.net. And Jackal Tactical is the other sponsor. Paul Whitman up in PA runs Jackal Tactical, and go to jacktac.com, find all that stuff. They've got a couple storefronts, they've got a field, and he runs Otherworld Milsim where they host big events, like Milsim type of events. So I think their last event had 300 or 400 people. Yeah, and I mean, dude, it's taken off. But he's
Sounds
a
good.
really good guy. He's got a good team. They've got they know how to set things up to
Cool.
make it
I'll have
run.
to check them
So
out.
yeah, jacktac.com. Anyone watching and listen, go out there and check them out. If anyone has heard me talk about these sponsors endlessly over the last few months, if you guys go there, send them a message. If you find them on Facebook or wherever their socials, let them know that Trifecta Airsoft Podcast sent you over. All right, that'd be cool. All right, brother. Welcome, man. Why don't you introduce yourself real quick, and then we'll get into the good stuff.
Hey man, I'm the airsofter known as Rooster. My real name's Keith. Been in the airsoft a little over a year now. I was a
Okay.
paintballer before, so
Shout out
you know,
paintballs. Hell yeah.
you're right, just like everyone else, it didn't sound so cool to me when I first heard of it, right? So,
Same.
you know, my son came out one day in full kit, was like, "Yo, I heard about this airsoft field. It looks gnarly. You need to, check it out." And I was like, "Eh." And then I looked at it and it actually looked really cool. He's like, "It's more than what you think. It's not just kids running around shooting each other in the backyard. It's like all these forts and all this, the obstacles and things." And I was like, "Okay, let's try it out." So I went out with him, threw on some civvies. I think I had an old tack shirt from a deployment, so I threw that on. I was like, "All right, cool, let's go." Got my rental gun in hand, no sights, nothing. Mid cap, not even a mid cap. I think it was a high cap. So I was just
Yeah.
like,
It's
sucking
winding
it up. Yeah, man, just like,
all day.
but the tactics didn't change, right? I know how to move and fight and move and fight. You constantly
Yeah.
get a spot, shoot something, move. So that worked well. We were like kind of dominating our little area. So we had a blast. Traded some, I call it, we became blood brothers with some of the guys there at that field because we traded hits and made each other bleed quite a bit.
Nice.
So, got into it, man. That was like, I want to say like a March, right? And then we just went full blast from there. Me and my son, he's 23. He's getting
Okay.
ready to go into the military. So I thought, hey, this will condition your body. Let's go
Yeah.
out and let's do these milsims. So we've been hitting like the milsim circuit hard. I've been to one at least every month since probably like sometime mid last year. We've just been constantly going to
Wow. That's
it's
good.
been yeah, we just came off of we were out at Freddie's VFA event.
Oh
That was
yeah.
freaking awesome. Yeah, so we had a good
Camp
time doing
Liberty.
that. Yeah, definitely.
Uh-huh.
Good time. Never heard of the place until then, and then I thought, man, that's not very far from my house. It's probably an hour away. And I thought, man, where has this place been my whole life? I could have taken all my boys there because I have three boys, so it was kind of cool. But yeah,
Okay.
we had a great time at that event. If you missed it, too bad. Catch it
Yeah.
next year for sure. Because Freddie and them, man, they put on a good event. They're all good people. And I definitely promote that. So yeah, we've been hitting the Milsom Trail, man. As a matter of fact, we're going to a couple of my guys are actually going to Stonebreaker that's coming up next week. Not this weekend, but next weekend. So if I'm not at a Milsim, I'm always kind of like supporting someone in the background, getting the guys ready because I'm a squad leader, right? So I'm
Okay.
like the team daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So, and that's become more of my role lately, like keeping them operable, go out, kind of show them some things, and then just watch them and evaluate them and just kind of give them hints on how they should improve themselves, stuff like that.
Right.
I have tons of time training.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it takes a lot of communication,
Oh
to
yeah.
go over a lot of stuff, especially if somebody doesn't have that kind of background already.
Definitely.
And a lot of airsofters, the younger ones that are getting in, I'm talking like older teenagers and young adults. They're maybe they didn't play on a sports team, right?
Yeah,
Where they
exactly.
had um, like football is a good one or a good example where
Hmm.
you have to. It's rough, it's tough. The training's difficult, right? You're doing 2 days in the summertime. It's hot as hell with all your gear on and shit. It sucks. And then you're running a lot. You're working out with these guys, so it's really physical. And then the coach, football coaches aren't usually nice. Okay,
Hmm.
so you're going through some tough stuff
Right.
together, and then everyone has to work together. They have to know their own position and their own plays and what to do, or else you're going to screw it up, especially like on offense or whatever. And defense, you can kind of throw together like the meanest guys that aren't afraid to hit and just say, watch the ball and go after it.
Right.
But offense, you got to kind of coordinate some stuff.
Yeah.
So
You
a
need
lot of
that
these guys,
cohesion. Yeah.
right? A lot of these guys, if they haven't had that kind of background or military or anything like that, any kind of training, they get into airsoft and they see these big events. They're like, oh shit! Like even something as simple as comms,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
Learn how to
trust
communicate
me.
on the field. That's a
Yeah.
huge one. And
Yeah.
so anyway, yeah, I kind of understand where you're coming from, where you're talking like training some of these guys, or teaching, or giving advice, whatever, with your background. So my boys did the same thing. That's how we ended up here. Is
Nice.
two of my sons were getting into airsoft with their friend that they went, they've known forever, and they were early 20s when they started. This is like 5 years ago, and so when they first told me, hey, I'm going to Airsoft event with Johnny. I was like, what? Y'all are, what? Is it like a little kid's, like a little kid's
Yeah,
party, birthday party or
that's a
something? Like, what are you
little
doing?
weird. Right.
I was like, so when they came home, they were each carrying a newer airsoft gun, and I saw them. I was sitting in this office, doors open. They walked by. I looked over, and I saw them carrying a rifle, and I was like, "Oh, did you guys go to the range?" And because we have, real steel guns, whatever, we go to outdoor range down here, and they're like, "No, we went airsoft." And I was like, "Let me see that thing."
Replica.
So
Yeah, baby.
I was
What
like,
is this?
"Whoa,
Yeah.
what?" So I knew zero from that day. I knew zero about airsoft. Well, okay, 1%. The little Springer pistols, I bought them when they were 12. That was
Right,
it. But
right.
I knew paintball. I knew paintball.
Yeah,
So
we kind of learned on the fly too, man. My son
yeah.
he had gotten full metal like AEGs back when he was a kid, like from his grandma,
Oh,
milking
okay.
her for all this money. She didn't know any better. He wasn't even playing airsoft with it. He just loved to have these really cool
Oh,
guns,
that's cool.
being around the military and having shot like real crew serve weapons and stuff he doesn't even remember that he did. But yeah, seeing like
Mm.
he had this AK that weighed like 15 pounds. I'm just like, oh man, this is dope. Never shot it. Lost a battery. He's got the
Mm.
sniper rifle. Never shot it. Like broke the sear on it. There's all these little things. So I do love that replica factor because it's way cheaper to run these than it is to run what we really own, right? The real steel's
Yeah.
really pricey stuff. So it's kind
Yeah,
of
for
fun to
sure.
get that muscle memory of moving with the weapon because,
Hmm.
like you're saying, people that are inexperienced, they're out there flagging their buddies and just all these things. There's so much to keep in mind when you're carrying a live fire weapon. So
Yeah.
it helps. So there's a lot of little things now. Prior military service will get you killed in airsoft on normal games, right? Because you have a lot of bad habits and things. And so I tell people don't try to use that like as your experience for airsoft. It's a whole different game. There's some habits that will help you be a better airsoft player that
Yeah.
but it's a different world. It's fun.
If you're gonna train as a team, like a lot of these guys that I've talked with that are, they have fairly large teams, more than 10 people that they've been playing with for years together, right? And they train like Laz Cologne is, we're down in Florida. He's head of the tryhards.
Okay,
And
cool.
so when they train, they do a lot of their training kind of like what you would want to do, like in real steel, right? Or
Mhm.
military, right? Like the real type of training, gunfather milsim, same way. He's a real steel guy. He's a SWAT officer, been
Okay.
on the force for a long time. But so he knows the real training and the real tactics, and he
Hmm.
uses that for his training purposes. But in a milsim, you can't really follow that too much because you'll take forever. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Oh
you're
yeah.
not gonna. You kind of just sometimes you got to know. All right, hey,
Yeah.
this is a game. We can use these 10 guys up front. You're just fodder, okay, for real.
Oh
Just
yeah.
go up there, get killed, lay down, and then we'll advance, okay?
Yeah, like half the scenarios I would call in an airstrike. More than half the scenarios, like call in
Uh-huh.
air support, clear that out. We don't even got to mess with that part. I get what you're saying, and that's the
Yeah,
thing about the military. But then again, you get bad habits like these kids play in the field, and I call them kids. They're all probably ranging from 17 to 20 something.
yeah.
They go out there and they're gonna take these risks that they wouldn't take in real life, right? And so that's when I try to pull the reins back and say, look, don't just run out there and look for kills. Like you're gonna get killed in real life. It's not just a BB, bro. It's bullet. So you need to be a little more cautious. And sometimes you do need to slow down a little bit. But we keep up the pace in the militum. So they don't, it's kind of there's a balance I tell them to try to
Right.
find. Don't spend too much time on one area. If it's nothing happened, go find a kill, but just be ready. Work with your team to move to that
Mm-hmm.
location. Don't just run out and try to be the Lone Ranger because you're gonna die and you're gonna be
Yeah.
by yourself. You'll have to bleed out, go all the way back to respawn, things like that. So I see where there's a lot of crossover there, but that's kind of what we're doing, just training for the mill sim. So when we play at a local field, it's like, go have fun. It's airsoft, but keep in mind all these things we talk about, get that
Mm-hmm.
muscle memory. And you could tell the games work a lot better for them. They're all synced up. They're all on walkies, right? They all got their walker razors and they're all talking and they know all the kill points. It's like just things happen for them a lot better than before when they were just like individual dudes running
Yep.
around trying to shoot each other, you know?
Exactly. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you so you got started in airsoft because your son, I did the same thing. But you have military experience. I actually met you through Sergeant Major Green, Tim, and he's a character, man. I had him on the podcast as his character,
Nice.
as Sergeant Major Green, and we had a good time talking. And he actually is the one that him and Pink Unicorn.
Ah,
They
Eric. Right.
Yeah, Eric. Yep. They recommended that I talk with you. So and that's when I reached
Maxim
out.
Kozlov, man. Here I am, Maxim Kozlov in the flesh. I didn't know if you wanted the character or not. I mean, I've got all this stuff I could throw it on, but yeah, it was a good time. So, man, I found
Yeah.
Tim online somehow.
Okay.
Honestly, I thought it was just like, I started this Facebook account just for airsoft. Like, I really wasn't on Facebook, but
Okay.
I wanted to be able to. I knew that there's a huge community there in airsoft, and that's where everyone's talking. A lot of the events are posted there and stuff. So I thought it was just some dude I'd met at the field, so I accepted this friend request, and then finally slowly kind of picking up like what he was doing,
Yeah.
and at first, it was like hilarious. It was like I saw the hilarity in what he was doing. It was
Yeah.
like he's LARPing, he's made up this character, but in the background of all this is like this tidbit of knowledge, and it's good
Uh-huh.
knowledge. Like I recognized it right off the bat. I'm like, okay, this dude's like clearly teaching him like ranger style tactics, like 11 Bravo infantry movement, stuff like that. I was like, so he's really teaching them real stuff, but having a good time. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's cool, And so we had a conversation just a little bit on, I think it was like Messenger or something, and I just went from there. I was like, you know what? He added me to like his Discord server, and I'm like, check this out. I'm gonna get my guys to make a skit, and we're gonna put a hit out on that dude because I do that for our squad. I'll put a hit out on like individual members of the squad so that the guys have incentive to learn to fight each other and get better. So we're
Yeah.
not getting complacent and stagnant, and your skills constantly change. So I just a joke. I thought it'd be fun to do these videos, and we just kind of went from there, man. And he's been taking it. It's been going back and forth. Like I've got to catch up to him because I've been busy with the milsim circuit and stuff, and I've got some responses coming, Tim. You be ready for it, bro.
Yeah. I actually I got a message from him this afternoon, and where he wants me to do he wants me to add to this part that I did last week. So he messaged me last week. He was like, hey, I want you to play this part. I want you to kind of be like this, and I'm going to be like that, and I'm going to send you these little video clips, and you can like splice it in and edit it in. And so I did, and I actually had to put it on a Google Drive folder or whatever where he could just go in and get it. It's like it
Right,
was too big to send or whatever. So
right.
yeah, it's so he sent me a message today saying, hey, can you put a outro to this, and here's what I want you to do and act like this. And I love it, man. I think it's cool as hell. When I first saw him, I talked to Eric. I talked to Pink Unicorn, had him on. He talked about this guy, and I was like, I went and found him on there, and I was looking at his stuff, and I'm going, this dude is funny. Like, holy shit. And I see these comments,
Yeah.
some of these negative comments, and I was like, they
They
obviously
just don't
don't
get it.
understand. Yeah, they don't get it.
Exactly. They have no clue where he's coming from. I
No,
picked it up immediately. I was like,
same.
yo, that's hilarious. I
It's
get what you're
freaking
doing.
funny, bro.
Yeah.
I could totally see what
Um,
he's doing. And
yeah. So
anyway,
we've been kind of working
yeah.
like that too. The thing I love about it, it's what we're doing between he and I, like 98% of it's improv, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
he kind of just like he made a video and I just was able to kind of cut in there and kind of build a story off of what he was doing.
Oh, okay.
And so like he did the same thing when I created Maxim Kulilov, that was for this Milsim event I was doing. It was Wargate up in Brushy Mountain up in Petros, Tennessee.
Okay.
Cool event. So I was the Russian unit commander. So I was like, dude, we're gonna be straight up Russian. We're gonna do some fun stuff. So then, they just kind of fit in. Like I was like, all right, he's like this commander of the green side, so I'm gonna show him like this Russian commander of the green side, and I just sent him just like random stuff. and he plays off of that. And so we're able to just kind of keep going back and forth. And it's, like I said, it's all improv. Like we have very little discussion between each other.
Yeah.
That's the great part about it. I never know what he's going to say. Like I have no idea how he's going to respond. It's like, I'm just going to make up some crap and see what he does. And it's vice versa.
So
That's
when
the
I
good
had
part.
him on the podcast, I didn't know any of this. I saw his videos, but I thought when I invited him on, I didn't know he didn't tell me
All right.
that he was going to be, in character. I had no clue. I thought,
Of,
okay, it's
of
like,
course. Of
yeah, we're
course. Yeah.
going to, like me and you were talking, okay? Like all my podcasts, I'm just, it's genuine, it's personable. And he gets on there and he's got this background and he just goes. Like when we start, he's just talking and he comes up with the craziest stuff like on the fly.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sitting there looking like I didn't know what to do. And I'm honestly, I'm not good at improv like that, like
Yeah.
joking around, and so I'm not good at comedy. Okay. Unless I've had a bunch to drink or something, I can make some smart ass remarks, but that might be funny. But I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to do with this guy. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So it was hilarious, man. But anyway, so
It,
it's
it
been
is
fun.
it's very interesting. Yeah, it's very interesting. It gives you a little creativity there, a little outlet for it. It is fun.
Right.
But I've been doing videography and photography and stuff like this for a long time. Like
Mm.
I had a podcast that we did for it was kind of related around automotive stuff. Like I used
Oh,
to do a
wow.
lot of I used to do a lot of automotive photography and I would make all these little sizzle reels. So we were like, hey, let's have this podcast for the community just to have fun with it. And
Yeah.
it is real structured and all this stuff. So I kind of miss doing that in a sense, like having that outlet. So I
Yeah.
did start like when we started the Airsoft stuff, I started basically the Screaming Goat Squad it was essentially a meme squad, right? So it's for all those people who don't quite fit in on a real milsim team or a real squad.
Gotcha.
I was like, I'll take in all your wayward and I'll train them how to be awesome and we're gonna look cool and have a great time while doing it, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna be the goofiest punks out there, but we'll shoot you. Um, and they'll be experienced. So that's kind of where it started. So we started a YouTube just to share it with ourselves, just good times, just to joke around. And
Right.
apparently it's kind of getting some traction now. And I'm actually, I kind of feel bad because I haven't really made any real video content for it in a little bit because of the milsims. And I hope everyone
Sure.
that's following kind of, gives me a little out on that.
Yeah. Give him some grace over here, okay?
Oh
He's
yeah.
busy dude. Got kids and
Yeah,
running
man,
all
it's
these
all me.
things.
Oh yeah. I've been leading stuff since I was like 15. So I'm constantly doing and helping and just managing.
I hear you. I was looking for the oh, there it is right there. The YouTube yeah, Screaming Goat Squad. Okay. I talked with speaking of that, I talked with Sean Wayne
Oh,
Monday night.
nice. Good
Yeah.
friend, homie.
Yeah, he talked about you.
He does. He's a up and coming YouTube star too. So
Yeah. Dude, I didn't I just subbed to your channel here. Okay.
nice.
That's awesome. Yeah,
So we have
that's
fun, man. I try to post like just gameplay. It's really not even about the squad. It's more about kind of what we did while we were there, but really showing the highlights of the overall game that day and like how everyone. I want everyone to kind of see because not everyone has a camera and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, here's that one moment we captured. Hope you had
right.
fun.
Yeah, that's well the when you were talking about the Russian playing the Russian thing with Sergeant Major Green, that was the after he told me about you, that was the first time I saw you on there, and yeah, it was hilarious, dude. Playing an awesome part.
Thank you, man. You gotta, that's all improv, dude. I literally was like, all right, let me get this accent thing going. I know you gotta roll
Uh-huh.
the R's, right? Russia, roll it, roll that R. I started to just kind of like, oh, you just gotta think of say something, weird, right? And just, I don't know. I have fun with it, man. I never know what it's gonna really come out like.
Right. Oh, that's
And
funny.
my actual Russian friends, they haven't said anything bad yet, so I must be doing okay, or I haven't totally pissed them off.
That's funny. I've had one guy on here from Russia
Oh,
uh,
nice.
along last year sometime.
Okay.
As he's the only one I've had on from Russia. I've had people on from different countries. That one kind of surprised me. He found me, and then we ended up doing doing a cast, but they've got some pretty serious milsim stuff over in Russia. Like most of their milsims are you have to be all of you everything on your uniform has to be accurate.
Okay.
They're very strict with
Right.
the uniform stuff and with the whatever kind of weapons and gear and everything. So whatever scenario it is, it's almost like
Yeah.
the LARP type of thing, like
Right. Right.
you've got to match
You got to
everything
be the
and
real McCoy. Yeah, I
you got to
get
be
you.
the real McCoy, man. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
cool.
pretty cool. And they have
Yeah.
this competition thing where they run through. He was showing me videos of it that he shot at one of the field things. It's like they run through with a ref, and it's a two-man squad, and you run from bunker to bunker
Hmm.
doing different objectives. So
Okay.
one might be clear the room, right, of hostiles, and then paper targets or whatever. And
Right.
then there's one where you have to find a key. Like when you get in there, you're locked in. You can't get out. You have to go out the other door or something like that, where you have to find a key inside this kill house with all these different rooms in it.
Hmm.
You've got to find a key to get out.
Kind of like
The
escape room kind of mixture.
uh-huh.
Yeah, I got you.
So and it's really interesting, man. The way that
It sounds
they,
like it.
I mean, it sounds fun as hell.
Well, I like putting that stress on you because you put yourself in those situations. Like, how are you going to respond? Are you going to find the key? Are you going to die in there? Like,
Uh-huh.
how are you going to react? And I love that. I kind of love that level of escalation,
Yeah, because
which
you
is
really
kind of
don't
cool.
know what kind of person you are, and you don't know what kind of person the other, your team is
Exactly, bro.
until
How
you're
are
under
they going to act?
stress.
Yep.
Everyone's
Look, dude,
fine. Everyone's nice when everything is going good.
exactly. Look, I was a paratrooper. I did some jumps, right? I was afraid of heights. Had never flown before in my life until I sat my ass down in the back of a C-130 at Fort Benning, Georgia. Like,
Wow.
when I took that first step out, that's when I knew, like, okay, now I'm a man. I can do,
Uh-huh.
the thing that I was the most afraid of. I'm about to do this, and
Yep.
boom, hit the ground. I was like, bro, let's load up. Let's go do this again. It's like actually
Hmm.
super fun, right? You push yourself. And that's why I try to push people past their fears because once you realize it's really not that bad,
Yeah.
you kind of takes a load off your shoulders and you realize, man, this is cool. I can do all this other great stuff. Like now I want to go base jump. All these crazy things. So
Yeah. I did. I skydived
nice.
twice after I got out of the military. So I wasn't able to do it in the military, and
Okay.
I did it when I got out. And I had to go tandem, but we go a couple miles up, it's 14,000
Hmm.
feet, and
Quite a
I
bit higher than a static line jump.
yeah, I think what static line did 1,200 or something,
A little bit
1,500.
more than 1500. Yeah.
So uh, yeah, we go out, and me and my buddy that I worked with, this back, I think I was 30. I was about 30 years old when I went, and my buddy was 26, something like that. And he had a motorcycle, he had a sport bike. Okay, he was all into it. But yeah, this dude, I thought, okay, he had a Honda CBR 600. Okay, he was big into going fast, right? He was not
Mhm.
afraid of all that kind of stuff. So we go together and we get on the ground, and I was like, bro, that was fucking awesome, and he's like, I hated it. I was like, what? That's so crazy. He's like, no, dude, I was so afraid to go out the door. He goes, if I wouldn't
Uh,
have been tandem, I mean, because the
you
guy
wouldn't have done
behind
it.
you is doing it,
Yeah.
it's like you're
Yeah.
just hanging there. And and he was like, oh, and I was like, dude, I won't. That sucks because I was like, who am I going to go with next time? Because I want to go again. It was very cheap, honestly. You
Yeah.
basically you're paying for like you're renting the chute and you're paying for the ride up, you know,
Right.
and it takes about 15 minutes for this little Cessna to get us up there. And we had like 10 people in the thing. There were three brothers that were real close in age that were, and they were able, they were certified. They could go on their own, and they had their own suits and their helmets. This is before GoPros. This
Okay.
is like 98,
Okay.
99. So
Oh, that was before cell
nobody's
phones, bro.
filming. Yeah, nobody's filming. Okay. Um, but they would go up, and then as soon as they got down, they start rolling their chute again because they're going up again.
Oh
They're
yeah,
just like
that's
adrenaline
crazy.
junkies. Yeah.
That
So,
reminds me, man, like, and that was another thing about being airborne that tripped me out was when I was a kid, we used to watch guys do these jumps like that.
hmm.
We had this really tiny airstrip, probably 3, 4 miles from my place, like as a crow flies through these fields. And I would sit on the hay bales and just sit on this pasture and watch these guys come and drop. And one day, man, I saw a dude not open, and that
Oh,
tripped me out. Yeah, you could just see him falling, falling, falling. It was like, I don't know. And he 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 went below the treetop like skyline that I
oh yeah,
saw, and it was like, dude. So that kind of messed with me. But so like jumping
sure.
out of that plane and it being the first flight, it was nerve wracking. But there was the fear of the Article 15. There was a fear of someone kicking my ass on that plane. It was like,
Yeah, absolutely.
and I was like, dude, you've come this far, might as well just do it, bro.
Yeah.
And it was like I said, it was once you do it that first time, it's nothing, man. There's been many times where I've been the first jumper in the door. I've jumped out of UH-60. I've jumped out of Twin Otters where you like straddle each other and they like literally lift the plane up and you slide out the back. Um,
What is
I
it
got to
now?
do. I think it's called a Twin Otter aircraft. It's like got
Yeah.
this tail and it's really tiny and you have to sit down on the floor with your legs spread and another dude's like basically up in your crotch
Yeah.
in a line and they just kind of like lift up and you kind of slide out the back.
No shit. And it's still
Yeah,
static line?
yeah, you're still
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
everything's static line.
Wow.
It is a trip, yeah. And then we jumped a C-47 from D-Day that was like refurbished. They would bring it around on tour. That was really cool. We did that when I was down with the Ranger camp down at 6th Battalion at Fort at Rudder, James Rudder.
Okay.
Uh, we did this huge like for fun jump into the water, and they brought it was General Frakely, I think, was the Fort Benning commander at that time, and he came down, and I'll never forget that because my NCOIC was a jump master and he had been on the C-47. You can only carry like 9 dudes at a time in this thing, including him. And so they're doing these loops all day long, dropping our entire battalion. And Kevin gets off that bird and he's in the monkey suit. He's just drenched in sweat and he's running toward the water buffalo. And the general's right there and he's like, "How you doing, Sergeant?" He was like, he just looks at this general running by him and he's like, "He's fucking hot." That was his introduction to his commanding general, and I was just like, "That's fucking awesome." Uh, so yeah, good times though. We jumped. That jump was so great. We jumped as soon as you get out of the skin of the craft, man. You come down. There was like zodiacs just doing like a little circle. That was your point of impact target. As soon as you hit the water, they were pulling us up out of the water. They had ranger students that were there, like holdovers or hold unders. They weren't in an actual ranger class,
Oh,
so
okay.
they were there. They'd pull our chute out, pack it up for us, took us to the dock, bro. We got out. There was like keg beer and barbecue waiting on us. It was amazing.
Dude,
So
that's awesome.
yeah, I had a lot of good time, good fun jumps like that. A lot of cool foreign jumps. I jumped with the Canadian Princess Patricia's Canadian Light Infantry. That was with first group. Jumped with the Chileans and Ecuadorians, and that was a trip because it was all in Spanish, bro. So like
Holy
all of your
shit.
airborne training like had to set in if you didn't know Spanish, and luckily it did. I was like the first dude on the chalk, so dude's just up here saying stuff, and I'm like, all right, hook up, right? Check static line, check equipment, sound off for equipment check, all this stuff. I'm like just drilling the dudes, and then we made the jump. I jumped in Korea. That was fun. It was
Oh,
like
that's
this tiny
crazy.
little, yeah, we came over this mountaintop. You get real low, tiny little rice field, land in there. I found out how tough the Koreans were that day. There was dudes like landing in
Dude.
these 4 foot concrete irrigation ditches. They like hit that shit, bounce up out of the ditch, and like walk it off like it was nothing. It's like,
Oh,
ooh, yeah. It's like a
bro.
sack of potatoes coming in. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I
Yeah,
think
South Korea,
the
bro. Was it winter time when you guys went? That place gets cold.
man, we were there. I want to say it was like, man, mm, it was coldish. It wasn't freezing. I can't remember the month. It was either like right before spring or like right before fall. We were down in K2, Daegu, with the Rock Army on
Yep.
an Air Force base, and that was a trip. Oh man,
We so
I
I
didn't
spent a
speak a
couple
lick of
months there.
Hangul. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't yeah, we didn't speak any. We were there for a couple months for Operation Team Spirit that they do every year with the Marines and
Okay.
they
So we were there
they
for Foal Eagle, which is something like SF does every
oh,
year. I
okay.
guess the army version of what y'all are doing.
Yep. Yeah, it was big operation.
Oh yeah.
Thousands of
Oh yeah.
troops and A-10s going over. Like it's a mock war for a couple months.
Ooh,
And it
nice.
is in January. It's freaking it's like 50 below,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
it can get
like
really cold.
pretty normal for them,
Well,
apparently. And we
you're on mountains and shit, dude.
oh dude, and these guys we met some of the troops from the Rock Marines, right? The
Oh wow.
Republic
Some
of
pretty
Korea
hard ass
Marines.
dudes, yeah.
And they're like doing this to us kind of, right? They're like showing us, they're looking up to us. And these dudes are out there at 6 in the morning playing soccer on the field in bare feet and
Yeah,
shorts
no.
and a
That
t-shirt in the
yeah, it's
cold.
insane. I
They
legit
it's like nothing
witnessed that.
phases
Yeah.
them.
Those dudes are hardcore.
They're
I witnessed
hardcore.
that dude standing there with his shirt off and somebody was hitting him with a stick. Like
Yeah.
I saw that. I'm like, what? This is like made for TV. They're really doing this stuff.
We were taking a bus, just like a city bus from we were at Pusan in Pohang.
Oh, yeah.
So right by the pier, and so we're
Tricky,
going into
tricky.
town,
You buy
and
me tricky, tricky.
yeah, exactly. And we're coming back. We come out of this bar and we're coming back to the base, and we're drunk as shit. And we're on this bus, or whatever. And there's this young Korean guy, looks military type
Katusha.
or whatever. Yeah, and so this older dude gets on, he looks military, and he goes back to the back, and after the doors close and the dude's, we start driving, this guy, we hear this like yelling back there, and the older dude that got on must have been his superior or something, because he's got this kid standing up at attention, right? And they're in civvies
Lighting
at
into him.
attention, and he smacks him open hand in the face. And I was like, whoa, these
Whoa.
dudes, bro, okay, they're not effing
Hardcore.
around.
Right? Got to keep that discipline, man. That's how you keep her in order.
Tell you what,
What do you tell a soldier with two black eyes or with a black eye?
that's
That's
funny,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, it was fun in Korea, man. The hard part for me was not speaking Hangul, right? And we had all this rolling stock, like
Mm.
Humvees and all this stuff that had to come in. It went over like on a slow boat. So it finally came into the pier down there. What was that? Man, the very south part of Korea. I can't remember the pier. Pier one, whatever it's called.
Um,
So long
that's
ago.
it might have been the
Anyways,
pier we were at
yeah, they
In
like
Busan, yeah.
I think so, dude. And they would bring that up on flatbed trailers. So these truck drivers would just
Yeah,
show up to the gate in the middle of the city at the Rock Army base we were at.
yeah,
And I would have to like use hand signals and shit to get these guys to walk into the office of the gate, go upstairs and get all their paperwork stamped,
yeah.
and then take them to where we were hanging out. It was frustrating, but it was cool. You'd be amazed at what you can actually do, not really speaking the language.
For
I
real.
got all of our damn Humvees on there. I got all the Connexes on base.
I mean, at that point, you just kind of point and
Yeah, yeah,
grunt,
yeah, pretty
okay?
much.
This
Exactly.
goes up there. Height, okay.
Yeah, yeah. 여보세요.
I know. I've been driving Uber the last like 5, 6 months, and here locally, whatever. And I picked up a couple of Japanese dudes that are here for a year to work at one of the factories that's not too
Okay,
far from here. So they're talking back and forth. I could catch a couple words here and there. And so when they
right.
got out, and I'm just quiet, listening, whatever. And when I dropped them off, I was like, "Arigato, height," and they were like,
What?
"Ah, arigato, arigato, okay."
I hope I
So,
didn't say anything wrong when this dude was in the car.
I don't know Japanese, just a couple words. So it
I
was
got you.
they're cool though. I actually got them a couple days in the same week because they were on the same schedule, whatever. But they and they were like, "Oh, you know Japanese?" I said, "No, not really, just a couple words." But I spent a year in Okinawa, and they were like, "Oh, Okinawa, yeah, it's fun over there." Like it's like the whole island is a party island, okay, because of the base. You know,
Wow.
it's funny.
Some guys may have messed that up over the years. I know,
Oh
since
yeah,
I had been in the service, I'd heard a lot of stories. I don't I almost got to go there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. We were actually when we were in Korea,
yeah,
at the time, I was in First Special Forces Group. I was just in a group support battalion,
okay.
and the commander, God, Colonel, he's probably a general now. General Eric P. Went. He had like really, he's like Bull from Night Court, bro. That was a joke. He looked like Bull from Night Court. He was
Hmm.
this huge dude, though. He was
Yeah,
massive. he was like a master martial arts dude. Like you could have him in a submission move and he would turn around and make you submit. Like
Oh
dude
God.
was good.
Yeah.
So he was all about combatives and he started this like training program. And I think the Army ended up adopting like our overall training program, which was really cool. So
That
we
is
all had
cool.
to go and we all had to become instructor trainers and learn all this stuff. So I happened to qualify. They were like, we were in Korea and they were like gonna go over to Oki to do like some other part of the program and work on building some stuff because a lot of that training ground
Okay.
happens over there, like all the martial stuff. So
Yeah.
um, I just wasn't, I wasn't a Green Beret, so they were like, maybe not, but you know, they don't want to take just anyone with them to do some certain things.
Yeah.
But I was able to kind of prove my mettle within that group that I'm not here to snitch on anybody. You do whatever you do. I
Right.
keep my head low. I'm just here to do my time, bro. If we want to have fun, let's have some fun. If not, oh well.
I actually
That's
don't
what we
know the
do.
difference between like airborne. So is there a difference between rangers and then airborne rangers and then green? Like I know there's a difference between Green Beret, but my cousin was in. Him and I are the same age. He went in the army same time I went in the Corps, and he was one or 82nd airborne.
Okay.
But I don't. What's the?
Well, you can't be a ranger without being airborne.
Gotcha.
First of all, you got to go to
Okay.
airborne school. Sometimes, like for officers, some of them can go to school and then do the jumps afterwards.
Yeah.
My knowledge again is old, but you're you're not a ranger without being airborne qualified.
Okay.
There's some relaxed things. There's women rangers now, so my knowledge is old, but 90,
Me too. Me too.
99.9% of anyone in the Rangers is airborne. So you have regimental Rangers. So that's who your Rangers are, right? You got the Ranger Regiment. You got the 75th with the HHC and the HHD, their headquarters and headquarters company, headquarters detachment, right? Yeah, that's 75th is like the boss of the rest of the regiment in a sense, right?
Mm,
And then you have your first, second, and third battalion. So you got Fort Benning, then you have Savannah, and then you had Fort Lewis. I don't know if they're all still in the same places. This is what it was
gotcha.
back then. Um, and so anyone who can get a school slot at Ranger School can go and get a Ranger tab. You can be a Ranger. Like you won't be in a regiment. So you won't technically be referred to as a ranger per se. I mean,
Mm,
technically you are. And that used to kind of rub me wrong because I was in Ranger Battalion before I went to SF. And SF is way more relaxed standard wise. So it was like that was really hard for me to get used to. I'm used to being smoked all the time and just being drilled by an E3 because I don't have a tab. All these weird things, right?
hmm.
And we had this officer there. He was like a log officer, but he's Ranger qualified. So this dude would walk around an SF battalion with a tan beret on. And I'm like, bro, what? Everyone else that's support that's not Green Beret typically wears a maroon beret because you're airborne. And it just
Mm.
blew my mind. I mean, technically he was authorized to wear it, but we didn't see that dude as like a ranger, you know what I mean? Even though he was. It's just
So
odd.
what makes a ranger? Like what is so you go, let's say
Going to
somebody
Rangers,
goes in
well, the
yeah,
honest,
what is ranger school?
the
Is it
answer
like
to be a ranger, you got to have a green card. And I know that sounds funny, but when you go to ranger school, you become ranger qualified. You go through three different phases. It used to be four. There was a fifth battalion. It was the desert phase.
mm,
So now you go to Fort Benning for your jungle warfare crap. Then you go to Dahlonega for your mountain training. That's fifth battalion. Wait, shit. Fourth, fifth, and sixth. Yeah. Wait. God, it's been so long, bro. And then the swamp phase is sixth battalion down in Rudder where we were. So you'll do your mountain training in Mount Yona. So yeah, God, I got all these coins. That'll tell me everything. So yeah, you become Ranger qualified. It's like 60 something days of suck fest. It's basically like leadership training.
gotcha.
You can get peered out, right? So if you go there, you're ass, you're not pulling your weight, your peers are going to let the walkers know that you
Mm,
suck. You could get recycled. The attrition rate when I was there was like 80%, dude. Like
mm,
we would start with like thousands of dudes out at the obstacle course, and man, like we would end up with a tiny class at the end.
yeah,
So I did a lot of the logistics and the admin stuff in the brigade there when I was there. So I got to see it all. Like I got to meet
right.
General Schumacher when he was command of
Oh
staff,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and Dick Cody, General Cody when he was command of staff. I got some coins
Okay.
from those guys. Schumacher is a bad dude, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good time being with Ranger. But yeah, that's what makes you Ranger, going and getting qualified at Ranger school, right?
Okay.
Otherwise, you're not a ranger. You're just like a support dude. Like when we were at the Ranger Training Brigade, it was another odd thing is that even though I didn't have a ranger tab, we wore tan berets because that was the unit uniform. You know,
Mm.
so it can be confusing. You
So
know, if
can
you do
anyone
that.
go? Like, if do you just sign up or something? Like when you go in the army, this like my buddy goes in for 2 years or something. Can he just go? Oh, hey, I want to go to Ranger school.
He can volunteer.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah, recognizing I volunteered as a ranger, full of knowing the hazard of my chosen profession. You know what I mean? So he can try to get that in his contract. Like, hey, I want to go to basic,
Uh,
then AIT, then airborne school, then ranger school. And I think
oh, okay.
actually the Ranger Training Brigade now covers all that, I
Oh, wow.
believe. I think so. It's like one-stop shop, bro. Like we
Whoa.
had to
So you could
go,
just go right to that,
yeah,
and
dude.
that
And
counts
then
as your boot camp, like everything.
I don't know. No, I think maybe because it's still all at Benning, it'll be just like a lateral move from one.
Hmm.
You go from like Third ID Hill or whatever it was over to Sand Hill, over to
Okay,
RDB area. I don't know. Things have changed, man. Like I said, but back then you would just do your AIT and all that crap. Then you go to Ranger School after you
gotcha.
did Airborne School. Like they came and picked us up from Airborne School and took us on a prison bus to the Ranger and Doctrine program at the 75th Ranger headquarters, like
Yeah,
battalion area right there. It was insane. So I mean that was back in the. I don't know if they're still doing that or not.
yeah.
But yeah, like anybody can go from a unit. Like there's so many. Like each unit gets schools, like classes, like so many classes they can send their guys to. So
Hmm.
you could be a 30 ID and come to Ranger School. You could be in Alaska, come to Ranger School. You could be in 25th, come to Ranger School. It's if you get the slot, if you're qualified. It used to be combat arms, like 11 Bravos only, mostly.
Oh,
But
okay.
they like in '03 when I had gotten in, that's right when they had started relaxing it and opened it up because of the war effort to
Oh, yeah.
soft skill guys, right?
Mm.
I went in as an M1A1 tank driver, found out I was colorblind and had to choose a soft skill, and it
Oh,
fucked with me.
shit.
So airborne got me back almost like on kind of the career path I wanted to be on. I wanted to be combat arms. I wanted to be fizzed in. I didn't want to be at the needs of the army kind of thing, and I was
Right.
lucky with that, right? So yeah, it could be just about any MOS and ME gender and all that stuff now to be a ranger. It looks like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
and it's really just a leadership school, dude. Really, I
Okay.
mean, there's a lot of ego behind it, but it's really a leadership school. Yeah.
So Green Beret then is SF, right? That's a special force unit.
Yeah, so that's like Ranger School's high school. SF is more of a college.
Gotcha.
You're gonna get more specialized training, right? It's gonna be they're gonna test your metal, right?
Right.
So once you get past the suck fest stuff, the psychology of it, right? All that,
Hmm.
you get that specialized. Do you work well with the group? Are we going to be able to trust you with our lives kind of
Mm.
thing? And I got to see a lot of that. I didn't get to go like out to brag to ever, sometimes we'd get sent out there to do op for selection, but I never got to actually see that area. I was just at Fort Lewis with first group. So I got to kind of see how they operated, a lot of the training and stuff like that. I got to go on plenty of flat ranges and shooting thousands and thousands of rounds. So I've gotten pretty proficient with an M4 carbine and an
Mm.
M9 and all the crew serve weapons like the Mark 19 stuff like that. But
Oh, yeah.
good
That was
times, good
that was
times.
one of my favorite weapons to shoot besides the M2, besides 50 cal, was the Mark 19.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
oh yeah. Boop, 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 boop.
The
Love that
thumper.
sound, man.
The
Yes,
thumper.
the
Oh
thumper.
yeah, bro, for real.
Oh, we hit this range out. It's a place called Wenatchee, Washington. It's like a training range out there, and that was some of the most fun being, doing like NTCs type stuff when you're just throwing down rounds. Like I love spending time at the range, right?
Yeah.
And it was just fun. Like I had a buddy of mine. He was like the TC of this Humvee we were in. So we had a 50, we had a gunner, right? We had a driver, we had the TC, and I was in the bed of the Humvee. Out of 240, we're just rocking rounds at these pop-up targets as we're driving. That runs out. You grab a 249, just pop till that runs out. Grab an M4. You got mags lying all over the place. You got dude just like the driver's just almost up to his neck in 50 cal rounds. Like we're
Oh, I
just
bet.
because we had all this ammo allocated that we had to go through. So it was
Hmm.
it was fun stuff. And then
They got to
NTC
get
was even
that
more
same
wild.
budget next year, okay? They got to use all those rounds.
Use it or lose it is exactly it, bro.
We
But
actually
yeah, I had
started
good
a
times.
we started a Real Steel YouTube channel. Um,
All right on.
After we started the Airsoft one, probably about not quite a year after we
Okay.
started this one, and it was I think, I don't know, we have just a handful of videos up, less than 10 probably. And it was, what the hell was it called? Oh, Trifecta Steel is what it's called. The channel's still
Okay.
active if somebody looks it up, but we only have a few videos on there because ammo prices start going up.
Oh, God, yeah.
And we
Yeah.
didn't realize for filming,
Hmm.
going there with a different purpose like that, it's we're going through way more rounds. So
Oh, yeah.
there's four of us. We're all shooting. We're all taking turns shooting whatever kind of guns we're shooting at the time. And bro, we're like 500 rounds is like nothing. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Easily.
we come
27
back,
cents. 27 cents. 27 cents. Yeah.
and
Exactly.
then my son built a 50 Beowulf. So that's
Ooh,
like $1.25 a round. Okay,
I love it.
so
That's awesome. I remember when those came out. I was like, oh, I
yeah,
gotta
so
get that upper.
yep, he had he had a an AR-15, and he built that, and I didn't know what it was. I'd never heard of it actually when he told me about it, and so he was living. Actually, two of my older sons that were into airsoft. They were still living here at the time when we started
Okay.
our channel because I was one of them had moved out, one of them was about to move out, and I asked them to move back, and I asked the other one to stay because I needed help getting around the house. I was falling all the time. I was trying to
Oh,
walk.
wow.
I was coming out of being paralyzed, and I
Ooh,
wouldn't use a walker, and so I'd just fall. And I'm like, "Hey, Colton, come here." So they're both my older sons are 6'1", 320 pounds, right? They're offensive linemen for football in high school. Like they're
nice.
squatting, almost 500 pounds. Like they come over and pick me up like nothing, throw me on the bed. So
Ragdoll you.
um, so they were here when we started our channel, and until I was able to, I don't know, get walking again. But we were going through so many rounds, and just on this channel, whatever it was, I was like, dude, I was keeping track. I had an inventory list, an Excel spreadsheet inventory list of all of these different rounds. We had 22s. We had 10,000 rounds of just about everything. Okay, at the
Nice.
time,
Yeah.
because we were building up for years. And we started that channel, and it's going down and down and down and down, and the prices are going up and up and
Up,
up. And we
up,
were
up.
buying like,
And stock supply was kind of going down for
oh,
a
it
while there
was
too. And it was like, eesh.
exactly. And that's when we were trying to do the channel. I was like, we're not going to be able to sustain this
Right.
and put out consistent content. So what? I mean, we could do reviews
Hmm.
because we can shoot in our backyard, not long range though. So we could do reviews on some stuff like handguns or whatever, and that's you can. Ammo's pretty
Basic,
cheap.
basic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, basic stuff. So, but we're going to run out of content pretty soon unless we start buying a bunch of different guns, which are
Right.
very expensive as well. So anyway, we stopped that right
Chasing the
away
dragon, bro. I'm telling you. Yeah.
for
It gets
real.
up there.
So it's we stopped. We still have a bunch of rounds left because we didn't want to go too low because
Yeah.
this was back when all the riots were going on and all the shit was falling apart, and we're like, okay, this is yep,
Yep.
we're ready.
SHTF. Gotta stop right here. Yeah. Yeah. I was doing the same thing, man. I had it's so horrible. I had my stock going and I had it all logged because I wanted to keep track of what I had.
Yep.
And it was in one of those big ass Liberty safes, dude. It was
Hmm.
massive. Um, so my house is on a hill and the garage like is backed up to this is a little ditch, but the water flooded it.
Mm.
So I didn't think much of it. Like it was just a little bit of water in the floor of the garage. So finally one day I go open up that safe and the whole thing was rusted on the inside, bro. Like,
Oh man.
oh man, I had cans and cans of AKM, like all this
Oh
full metal jacket,
God.
like everything that was metal was toast. But I ended up
Oh
giving it to a buddy of mine.
yeah.
He was like a reloader, and he just kind of went through and got all the rust off everything. It's like, dude,
Nice.
enjoy it.
For
So
real.
I learned that lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. We're pretty fortunate where we kept our stuff. It was in good spots. So
That's good.
we didn't
Well,
have it
I
all in one
thought this
place
was in a
either.
good
Yeah.
spot, but I didn't know it was gonna get flooded, and it was even up off the floor too, which is crazy. But it
Yeah.
is what
Probably
it
the
is.
moisture, the humidity. Are you in
Yeah.
you're in Alabama?
Yeah, and I even had one of those electric dehumidifiers inside the safe, and it always ran. So it wouldn't stand up to the amount of water that
Oh
came
no.
in underneath it. So I didn't.
Okay. That's
It was
crazy.
one of those idiot moments, man. The first day I saw the water, I was like, okay. I got all the water out, but I didn't think about the safe until days and days
I wouldn't
later.
have. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh
I mean,
man,
the
yeah.
safe, they're sealed. Like not
That's what
water
I thought.
sealed, but it's like there's a lip on the bottom
Hmm.
where, before the door.
Hmm.
So like the water's gonna have to be really freaking deep to get seep in there, Like, I don't know.
I want to say it was there's like mounting holes in the bottom for it to be bolted to the floor. I'm thinking that was the only
That's
way
what
the
it
water came
is.
in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, shit, yeah.
So I just ended up like cleaning, like I had a few guns in there, and those just took like little rust oil, just a little stuff to get those, some
Yeah,
oil, get those back because it was just surface, just a little bit of speck rust.
yeah.
So I just took all the particle wood and the carpeting out of it, and I sold the safe.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
toast,
That
get my money
sucks.
back. Yeah,
Yeah, well
luckily I got
now,
it cheap.
how did you what made you go in the military? Did you have some influence in your
You,
family or
man, I'd had some influence from family members, but they weren't it wasn't really related to me deciding to go into the military.
hmm
And it was weird because this was right after 9/11, like, and just right after 9/11, we were like going bowling every Wednesday at this dollar beer, dollar bowling night. It was just a
yeah.
group of friends. And we're bowling, having a blast. And my buddy, best friend, he's actually a warrant officer. He's a W-4 Apache pilot currently. Um, he comes up, he's like, dude, I just talked to a recruiter. I like aced the ASFAB. He got like 98 or some shit.
Whoa.
He's like, yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I'm going to the army. I'm like, bro, the 9/11 thing, like, we're going to war. Why the hell would you do that? Like, what are you thinking? He's like,
Yeah.
nah, it's cool. And so like not even 2 years later, I'm like, bro, I'm going to the army.
hmm
I mean, there's so many reasons that I could probably get into for hours, but just I'm glad I made that choice.
Yeah.
It was worth it in the end. Yeah, so he's like, God, man, he went in. He was like a fueler, then he was a crew chief, then he was a Black Hawk, or actually, then he went to flight school, and that's when he chose the Apache. So he's
Mm.
gone, like, man, he's been to all the major operations, and he's actually was ready to retire, but he's eligible for W-5, bro. So I told him, it's like, look,
Wow.
your kids are still so young. A
Uh-huh.
few a few more years won't really hurt them. Like
Yeah.
they'll still be old enough to make friends, and it'll be cool. Just do it, bro. And he's like, I think I'm gonna do it. It's like, man,
Yeah.
you should. Like, knowing our background, like he and I come from like, broken homes and shit. I'm like, bro, this is your chance, man. You're gonna be a W-5, dude. Let's just do
Yeah.
it. Don't give up.
I mean,
It's great.
Apache pilot, anyway, any of these chopper pilots, man, when they're
Oh
in
yeah.
during wartime, uh, I mean, they're always on the front. Like
Oh
this
yeah.
is this is what they do. Whether it's I'm sure Vietnam was the Huey pilots with you know,
Oh, I think you lost
yep.
me again.
I think it's 30 minutes.
It must be the
It is
sensor.
30 minutes
Yeah, it must be the sensor timing out.
because I've got this
I'm gonna
timer
melt the
thing going.
sensor on this beast.
Yeah, it's right at 30 minutes. No big deal.
All right, whatever.
Yeah,
Screw
it's
you,
fine.
Canon. I'll turn you off and on again.
You'll have to see if there's a way to bypass that next time. But um,
Well, I'll have to see. I'm pretty sure I've looked into that before because I've used this a lot. I think it's just the sensor overheating or something. I'll check it
oh,
out.
it's overheating.
Yeah, it's like it's a safety thing, so it doesn't melt the sensor. Like
Right.
the newer Canons, the newer R frames are way worse. Like they came out not long after I bought this expensive ass camera. They came out with two new versions, like or twice they're twice the cost, and they're worse.
That's
Yeah,
crazy, dude. All of our
yeah,
YouTube channel, we have, I don't know, 500 something videos on there. And probably, well, 300 of them are podcasts. Because I have our episode now is 320. So
nice.
200 and something episodes have been filmed on Galaxy S21 right here.
There you go,
Okay.
man. Can't beat it.
We bought, so when we first started, I was looking at my Amazon history, purchase history. The year we started the channel, we bought really, well, two what we thought were nice video cameras, 4K, blah, 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 but they were under 500 bucks. Okay. So we got them and outside with sunlight, natural lighting, they were great.
Hmm.
Uh, Frames per second, like they were, little slow, but I think it was like 30 was the max instead of 60. So the
Right.
run and gun kind of thing, but we weren't really doing that. We were doing reviews on these guns that we were unboxing from mystery boxes. So it's a lot of slow type of
Yeah.
film, you know. Um, but anything we wanted to do inside, or if it was cloudy out, right? It wasn't good lighting.
So it didn't have very good
Nope,
dynamic range, is
nope.
what you're saying.
It
Yeah.
was horrible. The light sensor, and actually, one of the biggest differences between the quality of pictures you get from an iPhone and a Samsung Galaxy, like current, like present day,
Mhm.
is the light sensor. It's not the megapixels. Like you can have massive megapixels, whatever, but
Yeah.
the biggest difference is the sensors. They
Yeah, and
don't
they're
have
tiny
the,
too. Yeah.
yeah,
So
exactly. Yep.
like like the camera, like my camera, the sensor's like this big, right? And then the iPhone
Oh my
sensor's
gosh.
like
Yeah,
this big, you know. People
exactly.
don't realize that. But you know, they've
Mm-hmm.
come a long way, and most of what looks great on these phones is through software, right? It's like wizardry
Yeah, it
happening in the
cleans it up.
software, but they're getting there. Like they're making these sensors larger and larger and larger. And as they get bigger, the better dynamic range they're gonna have, right?
Yep, true.
So, and that's like with this one, that's how I'm able to have just a tiny little light on in this room and it still, you know,
It's very
captures me.
clear. It's not grainy. See, if I turn this light off, it'll get
Yeah,
grainy.
yeah,
It doesn't adjust very well,
right.
webcam. But yeah, that's always an issue when you start content creating is trying to
Yeah,
figure out what to use. And I was like,
right.
dude, send these cameras back. We're gonna use this phone, okay? F this thing. I'm not. I don't have to be perfect anyway. I don't care.
I've
So
actually got like a Logitech in my box, man. I just gotta press the button to buy it, you know.
nice.
Just remembering to do that.
So you went in the army. You go Ranger, um, SF,
Well, I didn't
and
go to those things. Like I just got assigned to those units because I was airborne. So the
gotcha.
problem with
Okay.
Ranger School was like right when I got there, it was right around the time when they started relaxing it and letting soft skill people go to Ranger School. But there's an order of merit list. So the guy in charge at that time, he's probably a general or retired now. It was Quan Ki Chin. So we did a change of command. This dude comes in. He evaluates all the three battalions and was like, "Yo, we got a lot of 11 Bravos that are assigned to my unit, and how that works is they get in trouble somewhere or they get broken somewhere in 11 Bravo unit and an infantry unit, and they send them to RTB to
Yeah.
just be op four bitch detail basically.
Yeah.
He's like all these dudes, they should be ranger qualified. So the order of merit list started 11 Bravos and then everyone else. So like my chances were slim to none, right?
Mm.
So and it's what they call a TDA unit, means basically
Yeah.
you're
I was on TDA.
non-deployable. Yeah, so you're
What's
non-deployable.
yeah.
So I spent plenty of time in TRADOC and TDA, and I was like, dude, I need to get on a TOE unit. I need to go somewhere. And so the guy I had mostly worked for there at Ranger Battalion had just gone to group and helped stand up the group support battalion. So I call him. I'm like, bro, you got any jobs? He's like, bro, I got jobs for days. I'm standing up a whole battalion. And so like he called the our branch manager, right? They're like right next to each other. And it's like, hey man, lift up my fence, let me leave that unit, put me in this unit, close the fence. Boom, I had orders to first group. And that's how that worked out. So yeah, I
Nice.
did all that. I got out of the army. It was like it was '09. There was this whole story of why I got out. Like, I actually was 2 weeks of getting out, the ETS program, 2
Mm-hmm.
weeks into that, I would have been out of the army. My command comes down and said, "Hey, guess what? We're sending 19 of you guys to Iraq. We need to backfill a bunch of dudes. Stuff was happening. We need bodies." So I actually ETS'd in theater. Like, I couldn't even go into an A feast, and my card expired. I had to get a fake reserve ID made to be able to get on the freedom flight to come back home from Iraq, bro. It was
What?
crazy. Yes. I did not know that could happen. Like, my command of chain had to get a hold of SOCOM, bro, to get SOCOM to get involved to tell DFAS to turn on my damn paycheck again.
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a cluster F. I was a super sandwich. I literally got these name tapes made, Mr. League unemployed, and I sat on the couch for a few weeks in Iraq and watched the Olympics at the time.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
Yeah. So yeah, after that, man, I used my GI Bill to go to school and became certified in IT. Like
Okay.
I, I wanted to do something, you know. I didn't really want to do the stuff I did in the army. Like I wasn't really clerical. That wasn't my intention, you know. But
Yeah.
I thought computers were cool. I had done a lot of mechanic stuff when I was a kid, so I'm like highly my attributes high. Like I can work on just about anything, right?
Right.
high aptitude.
Mechanical
Yeah,
aptitude. Yeah.
yeah, high aptitude.
Yeah. That's how I am. Yeah. I grew
Yeah.
up
So
working on cars. Yeah.
okay, yeah, so me too, like shade tree stuff. Went to
Uh-huh.
school for that too, but I didn't want to turn wrenches my whole life, so
Yep.
I was like, let me work on computers. It's very similar, dude. Like the computer is like it's like treat it like an engine. It's just like there's basic parts. They
Yep.
function together. If you get it all right, it works, right? And so,
Hmm.
of course, now I've been doing that since 2012. I'm actually, I've moved up the ranks. I'm like a project manager for IT now. So
Okay.
and so Airsoft is like my release from all that, bro. I
Sure.
go out and I don't have to. I ended up leading people. I guess it's just the nature of my being. I'm a leader,
Hmm. Yeah.
But it was really for me to go and let my hair down and have a good time, have a hobby. Um,
Absolutely.
I got burned out doing photography and all that podcasts and videography, all that stuff. And I was like, I just want to go have fun. And that's what
Yeah.
Airsoft is now. Um, but of course, I see something, I see a need for something, and I want to help fill that need. I'm just like a resourceful dude, and I'm really helpful, and I'm always
Yep.
want to just offer up my services for the community. If you
Yeah.
got a problem, yo, I'll solve it, right?
Vanilla ice in the house. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm sure your story relates to a lot of people that I've had on, and a lot of people that listen to this or watch this because there's a lot of guys that are into graphic design, IT, whatever.
Mhm.
They're behind a screen all day and or in an office or in a cubicle or whatever. And airsoft is, bro. I really need this. I
Yeah,
have to get out and do this kind of thing. It was kind of the same way for me. I mean, it was my release. It was my. I didn't care. Actually, I didn't care about airsoft at all. I didn't. I just needed to do something new because I
right.
was bored with the other things I had started doing when I was first starting to walk and have some abilities back or whatever. So this was a new thing that I thought, oh, there's all these different facets to it.
Yeah,
I won't get bored for a while. I get bored really quickly because when I get into something, I'm going gung ho.
yeah. I'm the
I'm a
same way.
thousand miles an hour, and then I
Yep.
want to learn everything, and then I learn I learn everything that needs to be learned about it and how it works and how everything, and then and the whys behind everything, and then I go, okay, this is
What's
effing
next?
boring.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So, um,
I hear you.
when I first started, my first, I got out of the military in '93. I was in '89 to '93, 4 years
Okay.
active duty, and I got out and I started working in a factory in '94. It was my first time ever working in a factory. Before I went in the Corps, I was construction and landscaping, as a
Been there,
teenager
done
and
that.
stuff.
Got the
Yeah,
scars.
I worked
Yeah.
concrete. Okay, I'm like hauling shit, wearing my fingertips off. I didn't think I
Oh
was going to
yeah.
have fingerprints anymore. Carrying cinder blocks. I was like, bro,
Peeling
this.
that back. Oh yeah.
I'm telling you, hauling shingles up and down ladders and shit. So then
Yep.
I go in the
We
corner
were
and I get
young,
out
man.
and I go in this factory and I'm like, it was the first job that came up. I went to a job fair. They hired me. I was like, oh shit, okay, starting out pretty good money. Um, Good overtime. I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah.
So it worked out great. We were already married. We had my first son was born in California before we moved back to Cleveland, Ohio, where we're from. So I'm like, I got a little kid. I work any overtime you got, whatever. But I started in that factory, and then just that was it. Like mechanical aptitude, I could learn everything. I'm going to
Hmm.
learn this thing, and then what's next? So
Right.
every time they posted a job bid, I'm just I'm learning that. Like I would bid on that
Move
and learn
around
the job.
laterally. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I learned everything in the whole plant
Oh yeah, man. It
in a
makes you a
few
valuable
years.
person though, You can
And
fill
everyone, when
in.
I started, everyone's like, "Man, why are you sweeping up? Why are you doing this?" Everyone's sitting on their ass. I'm like, "Bro, why are you sitting down? Like, there's shit to do.
Right.
If there's
Earn
shit
it.
to do, you got to do it. Well, it ain't our job. I don't. Who said that? Like, who makes these rules? What the fuck? Let's go." Uh, and so anyway, this was when this airsoft thing came up. I'm like, when I found out all these different guns, okay, like tons, and then the gear and equipment, and then the milsim stuff, and then the LARPing stuff, and then the speed soft stuff, and then the indoor outdoor. Like, I was like, okay, this is going to keep me busy
Yeah.
for a
It's a
while.
big onion to peel,
I
bro.
thought
Yeah.
this is awesome, and then all the people, of course, so it's a lot of variables.
Hmm.
So it's been good to me. But that was the same way. I was looking for something to keep my mind occupied, but I didn't really care about airsoft and I was like a little kid, man. When I first started getting into it, I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you look at our old videos when we were doing unboxings, I'm like really excited opening these mystery boxes, like, because I had, not only did I not know what was in the box, I didn't know that Airsoft made replicas from real steel stuff. And I'm
Yeah.
going, a P90? What? And
What?
I think a lot of people watch those videos and we're going, this guy's being over dramatic for the video. I'm like, no, I'm for real, bro. Plus, I was half drunk when I was doing these. Okay, so
Like,
uh,
whoa.
oh,
Yeah,
dude, it was hilarious. But yeah, it's been a exciting journey so far, and I'm still not
cool,
bored with
man.
it. So that's why I keep
I
doing
don't think you
these.
can get bored with it. There's so much stuff going on. It's
Right,
always, so dynamic. Like you said, there's so much, so many little niches and little corners of the world you can get into with airsoft. That's a good thing. It's like a
and then
gift that keeps on
patches.
giving.
Good
Oh
Lord.
God.
I was like, I didn't
Yeah,
know. Okay,
I know.
I got a little collection over here. Okay,
Right
I didn't
on.
know people would get so into patches. When people were talking to me, they're like, "You know patches, man. When you got them in the military." I'm like, "No, we didn't.
Yeah.
I got out before we got them in the military." Okay, we still
Ah,
had to iron on our
yeah, we
Eagle
had our
Globe and
sewn on.
Anchor.
Yeah.
So,
We had our sewn on. It was like
uh,
right before I got out, they started the patch thing, the Velcro with the
yeah,
AC bit. And so yeah, I had some patches and I saw everyone was into patches. I'm like, well, let me go dig and see what I've got. And
uh-huh.
I've actually got like an Iraqi Special Forces patch because
Let's
I do a
see.
patch trade with all the forces, right? And I've
Right.
got, all these things. I'm like, this will look dope. Nobody's got this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
put that one on there. I had one from the Korean Rock Air Force,
Oh, that's cool.
the paratroopers. They were, it
Yeah.
was like it was like this super cool patch. It was like a wolf and a bat and all this stuff. But one of my, like some of my soldiers, I think, actually lifted that off of me because
Mm,
when I was downrange, they had to go square away my room for this barracks inspection. And I was the barracks NCO, so I was squatting in this room for free because I was getting out of the army. So I'd
right.
already sent my wife home, and I was just squatting until I went home. And I think they went into my room and while cleaning up my stuff, stole my damn rock patch
That's the
because
problem
it
with
was like,
having two
yeah,
Kula patches, okay? Because if somebody wants it.
exactly, man. And
So you
I
guys,
can't find it.
so you guys were married while you were still in. You met your wife. Did you meet your wife in your hometown or?
Yeah, I met her.
Okay.
Her dad. She was a military brat. Her dad actually worked for Sikorsky, so
Oh,
he was
okay.
like he was Mr. Blackhawk.
Yeah.
Like he knew Dick Cody when Dick Cody was like a lieutenant.
Yeah.
Like
That's crazy.
yeah, he was kind of like he had a lot to do with the background stuff with the Night Stalkers and their capabilities within the Black Hawk itself, like what it can do for them and all that stuff. So we met in Huntsville. It was like in Huntsville, Alabama. God, man, probably like early 2000. Man, dude, it was like love at first sight. I fell in love
Yeah.
with her. Luckily, I was able to convince her to marry me. I was in airborne school. I
Okay.
was in airborne school. We got it was a Christmas pass because we were there during the winter. And I was like, look, I'm coming home. I need to talk to you. I like
Mm-hmm.
literally like I want to get married to you. If I don't nail you now, get you married to me, you're gonna run off and be with some other dude, you know?
Yeah.
So luckily she was in it. She was in it to win it. We've been together now 20 years, so it's good stuff,
Nice,
man.
dude.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
wife and
she
I met in high school,
oh
so
yeah?
we've known each other a long time. Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got a little bit more time in on than I do.
A little bit. You'll get there.
I hope so, bro. Yeah, we've been best friends ever since. And she totally gets me. Like I think because we've been married for so long, that's the reason I get to mess off and do all this airsoft stuff. Like,
Yeah.
without a problem. She doesn't give me any grief. Like we've done so much together. It's like, okay, you go do you, I'll go do me.
I mean, there's a balance.
Oh yeah.
Always a balance. No matter how long you're together, it's going to be still. They still need. We all still need time together. And we're married 31 years. Known each
Right
other
on.
since '89. Okay, our first date was
Okay.
in June of '89 because it was our graduation day from high school. And
Nice.
the only reason I remember that, by the way. But yeah, and it's been rocky. Okay,
Hmm.
I mean, we have five kids. We had 5 and 7 years. They're all close. three boys, two girls. They're all in their 20s now. Okay.
You got your own little squad there, huh?
We got a squad. We got a basketball team. We got, yeah. And it was funny because when they were little, I was just talking with this Marine Corps vet that just got out. She just got out of the Corps like within the past 12 months. She was a drill instructor in the Corps. Okay.
Ooh.
And then, yeah, so her and I were talking, and she trains dogs. She has her own dog training business, and she's like, she's telling me about it, and she's like, they're just like people, man. Like when little dogs, they're like little kids.
Hmm.
You have to have tough. You have to use tough love. You can't. These. She goes, I get all these dog parents in or whatever that they want to do the gentle parenting or gentle training with the dogs, and I keep telling them it doesn't work. Just
No.
like little kids, you've got to be, you got to teach them. Okay, you got to train them. You got to be balanced, but you've got to have that tough love part. You got to
Right.
have, hey, discipline. So, yeah, it's when when our kid, I was telling her when our kids were little, they were toddlers, and uh, when I would get home from work in the afternoon, I get home at like 4. My wife's like, "Oh my gosh, can you please watch a kid? They won't listen to me, and they want to." Well, the TV's on. We never had cable. Actually, to this day, we've never had cable. We just, when the kids were little, we had like a VHS player,
Okay.
VCR.
Yeah.
So
Constantly
we would
playing the same
have
thing.
we would have like Veggie Tales or some kind of cartoon
Yeah.
movie for them. So she's got them, the TV on, and she's trying to tell them something. I'm like, click, get online right now, right? I had a line between the carpet and the linoleum for the kitchen, and that's I trained them to get online, right? When I need your attention, you need to get online.
Do it
So
now.
two of them are in the basement playing in the toys. One's in the bathroom, one's in their bedroom, one's watching TV or whatever. I'm like, I just yelled through the house. It was a small house.
Followed.
Uh, yeah, I'm like, get online, and they all, they're all running, and they line up. And I'm like, hey, look, we got to do this, okay? You got to go do this. You got to go do that. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, I'm going out here to cut the grass. Who wants to help? Oh, they're
Volunteer,
eager.
right? That's cool.
So, and my wife's like, thank God. All right, now I can take a shower.
So you were a
Yeah,
Marine, right? So
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought I thought you guys formed up musters or something like that.
No, isn't that Army muster?
No, I think it's
No, we
Navy.
call it formations. Yeah,
Okay, I think it
yeah,
maybe Navy. I know we had some Marines at airborne school, and that was funny because we would all have a morning formation,
yeah.
and they had this gravel pit with these metal cables that was your chalk line. So once you were established that chalk line, that's who you jumped with. That's who you stood by the whole time.
Gotcha.
They would always come out and farm a mustard, and I'm like, who the hell is this dude? We're in the army. We fall in,
They
bro.
said
You know?
that? Oh,
Yeah.
that must be the
It
new
all,
core, man. I don't know. That sounds
yeah,
cheesy, bro.
yeah, it did sound cheesy. It might have been some Navy crap. Who knows? I know we had
We never said muster.
we had
Good
some of those
Lord.
CB dudes there, the Buds guys that were there to
Yeah,
get qualified, and I
that's
almost got
funny.
into a fight with this little buck five Marine dude. So we all have canteens, and
Yeah.
when you get on the flight, when you land on the ground, there's going to be a duffel bag full of your canteens so you can get some water. Well, these Buds dudes and these Marine dudes, I'm literally are pissing in their canteens, like emptying them. So when we hit the ground, this dude's like throwing out all these canteens at us, and I'm like, bro, I'm on mine. He's like, just shut the fuck up and do all this. I'm like, bro, you don't understand. And
Oh,
he like
Jesus.
gets all up in my face, and I'm just like, I want you to take a look around. You see all these dudes? We're all Army. You're the only Marine here, bro. I will listen to you because of your rank, but you need to chill out. Like you're gonna get
Mm-hmm.
hemmed up. And he kind
For
of
real.
calmed down. And that was like the last interaction I had with him. So but other than that, we had
Yeah.
Marines at some of our, units because of Ranger School and SF and stuff, but they were cool dudes. I got along with them. Like we had it was like a master gunny sergeant. He walked with the Rangers. Like we always have to have one of those dudes on hand.
Mm.
Uh, I don't remember a group. Group we had like an Aussie dude. We didn't have any Marines that I can remember with
I
us.
never served with any Army. I just Navy. We had some CBs real close to our base, and then when I was in Okinawa. So
We would run into the CBs every now and then. There was some like
yeah.
para rescue dudes down there at Eglin Air
Oh
Force
yeah.
Base. So those dudes would come out to camp every now and then. I actually ran into one of the dudes that I went to airborne school there. I was like, "Well, it's a small world, bro.
Oh,
How
that's
did you end
cool.
up here?" Yeah, he was at Eglin, and we were on like a camp that's part of Eglin Air Force Base, but it's like way back on these training ranges. That's where they
Yeah.
dropped the Moab and all that. Like
Oh
they had
yeah.
to evacuate all of us to get us the hell out of the area. It's down what we call 17-mile road. It's like 5 miles, 9 miles, 3 miles, and then you're at camp or whatever. It was weird.
I met I ran into two guys from boot camp. One was a recruit that I was in boot camp with. I met him right before, or was it when I came back? I think it was when I came back from, yeah, it was when I came back from Okinawa. So I got stationed at Pendleton, California. We go
Good
to Camp
times.
Del Mar, right on the beach. Okay, this is a Friday afternoon. We're having a company party, and I recognize this dude. He's in the tan shorts and a white T-shirt, getting hazed. Him and his group, and I was like, "Oh shit! I think that's Lamp." So I went over and I was like, "Is Lamp?" And he turns around. He had just got his jump wings,
Oh,
and he was going into this thing that I never heard of until he told me. It was called Anglico. It's a
okay.
special forces unit for the Marine Corps that nobody really ever talks about.
I
So
don't
you
think I've
got
ever
Force
heard of it.
Recon and you got Anglico.
Okay.
So they're like secret, whatever, I guess. But
That's why I've never heard of it. They're like
yeah,
tag.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, bro. So anyway, we talked for a while, and then when I was in Okinawa, I met or I ran into my senior drill instructor from boot camp. This big black
Small
dude,
army. Yeah.
and he was very intimidating, even outside of of boot camp, but probably because I knew him as the my drill instructor, and I
Yeah, like
recognized him. I'm like,
IRL.
when yeah, and you know what's funny? I was actually on I was TDA with this group called Chasers. I went to Chaser school. It's basically where you ride along. You carry a baton. You learn all these baton fighting and stuff and
Hmm.
handcuffs, and you go ride along with the prisoners and the driver to go take some of the low profile prisoners to back and forth to like whatever they have to do, banking or some shit. Back then they didn't have electronic banking back then, so
Okay. Yeah.
you had pay phones, and then they had to go out and do some kind of paperwork business or medical or something, or I don't know, that they couldn't do in the prison. So we would ride along in the back, two of us, and they were called us chasers because if they ran, we'd chase them. So
Yeah.
I'm standing in the back of the van waiting on this dude to come back, and I see this guy standing there, and I'm like, oh my God, I think that's my drill instructor. Holy shit. And I start standing up straight, like, and he turns around and I see his name tag. I was like, it is him. So I went and talked to him real quick, and it's pretty cool to, run into people that
See him
you
as a real person.
started out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's not a
hey,
robot.
man. Yeah. Well, that's funny. Similar story. When I got to airborne school, we ran into this drill sergeant that was over us in AIT. He was like our babysitter essentially. But this dude was hard on us because he found out we were going to airborne school. There was like five of us. And he was like, you know what? He would wake us up at like 3 in the morning and have us wax the fucking floors in the barracks. It was just insane, bro.
Yeah.
And he said he did that to us because we were better than the other soldiers because we were going airborne. Right? Like as a going away present, that dude got a lifetime subscription to Playboy sent to him. Anyways, we send this is back before you could order shit, right? We pull something out of a magazine and say, yeah, Drill Sergeant Cisneros. Here's the address to
Send
the
it in
barracks.
mail. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so there he is, man. This SOB. He used to say he would say, "I'll see you there. I'll see you there." We never understood what he meant. He went green to gold, so this dude was going to OCS. So we're over there, and where they check in just happened to be right near where our airborne battalion is, Delta Company. So I look across the parking lot and I see this dude standing there, and they can't say a fucking word, right? Like they're locked down, they're silent. We're just yelling all this crap at them. Like we got even with that dude that day, We got to
Uh-huh.
just say all this crap just to mess with him to try to
Yeah,
get him to
because
break
he's
rank.
like a recruit again.
Dude, he was nothing but a cadet. Yeah, it was like, ooh, I could go just treat you so poorly, just like you
Uh-huh.
did me. Tables have turned, but that was
Right.
cool. Yeah,
We
good
had
times.
I was in boot camp from October to January 5th. So I was in for all the holidays. And Halloween, they didn't really, nothing big happened. On Thanksgiving and Christmas, that we're down to one drill instructor because the other ones are off, with their
Mhm.
families. So Thanksgiving, we get what we call our drill, the heavy drill instructor, the one that's like always on your ass, like running up and down like a
Hardcore.
crazy rabid dog.
110% and then some. Yeah.
110%, bro. Always in your shit, always in your face, always just, so we get him. So he's super quiet. He marches us to lunch, okay? So we go to the chow hall. He's super quiet. Like, what the fuck?
You
So
don't know.
we sit down and eat. He's sitting over here with the other drill instructors. I'm like,
Huh.
bro, what? We march
Right.
back to the barracks. We get online. He's like, get online. Everybody lines up. Okay, and we always have all of our gear,
Yeah.
when in boot camp. So we got our H harness with our war belt. We got all of our canteens, our magazine pouch, all that shit. And we don't have live ammo or nothing, but so we go back. We stand in there. He's like, canteen. When they just give a command, you just do it, right? You don't.
Drink water. Yeah.
Yeah. So canteen out. You're standing there. 90 degrees. Okay, you're holding it. Drink. Okay, each canteen holds a liter of water. We
Yeah.
just ate this fucking huge, meal that we're starving all the time.
Hmm.
So we drank until we threw up.
Oh
So
yeah.
we threw. Everyone throws up, and it's got to be one of the worst feelings that I can remember, honestly, because
Yeah.
you're so full and you're
Oh
trying
yeah.
to force this water down.
It
I'm
sucks,
like,
dude.
holy shit! And then it all
Forced
comes up.
hydration. God, I hate it. Yeah, they used to do that to us
Yeah,
in the army. We had 2 liters, so the 2 liter, the 2 quart canteen, not 2 liter,
yeah,
and they would make us drink those 2 quarts. Insane, dude. Yeah,
yeah.
growing up, nothing like eating a big ass salad like the last part of your meal and then going and doing that.
Right. So
Yeah.
we spent Thanksgiving cleaning the squad bay from with all of our puke, and then as we're
Oh
cleaning
man.
it, it's slimy and it's and so we're puking and gagging as we're cleaning this floor, and he's just dude, we all had visions of
Perpetual
just
kind of
beating this
cycle,
dude's
huh?
ass,
Oh
like,
yeah, I
and
can
at the
imagine.
end we were like, we didn't know that was like a setup, like how they structure, there's one that's like this character
Good
and one
cop,
that
bad
plays
cop.
this role. Yeah,
Yep.
yes, exactly. Good cop, bad cop. So
Yep.
anyway, at the end, when we graduated, he's like, "Congratulations, Marine," and we're like, "What? He's talking normal? Holy shit!" And then they all told us kind of like what. Yeah, I mean, I'm the
It
heavy.
was a psyop. Yeah, right.
It is a psyop.
The
So
whole thing. Yeah, they
it
did shit
works
like
so
that to
good.
us. Dude, yeah, they did that shit to us with the when I said they picked us up from airborne school in a prison bus to take us to the Ranger Indoctrination program. Massive psyop, bro.
Yeah.
So they pull up in this bus, all these Rangers come bouncing off there, just right? Like whole new set of instructors yelling orders. When you're in airborne school, the cadre there, they make you respond to them as Sergeant Airborne. Yes,
Mm,
Sergeant Airborne. No, Sergeant Airborne. Rogers, I mean, dude, you got it drilled in you or you're
yeah.
getting smoked. So now there's a new set. Do not call me Sergeant Airborne. I will kill you. Roger that, Sergeant Airborne. Fuck. Right? I'm dead. So, yeah. So all these dudes, same kind of thing. These dudes are smoking the shit out of us. Well, there's this one little dude, like, got this crazy eyed look, didn't say a word. He's the shortest little dude, little mixed, like, Filipino dude. He's just like eyeballing us, man. Gets us all on the bus after we're smoked, looks at us all. We're on this road. He's finally like, all right, this can go the easy way or the hard way. It went the hard way. There was no easy ways,
Duh.
bro.
Right.
Like he should have just said what was gonna about to happen. Basically, I'm about to smoke you like you've never been fucking smoked before. And if you complain, I'm gonna smoke you even more. It was just one of those things. It was like,
Right.
okay, bring it on. We did like 1,000 flutter kicks, dude. And like when that guy got his voice got hoarse, another dude stepped in and started going 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like you couldn't stand up when you stood up. Like you couldn't lift your body up. Your abs were just
Uh-uh.
yeah, so contracted. And that was just because we owed him time. If you
Oh
don't
yeah.
move and go from point A to point B with all this shit, you owe me every second after that. Here's your time hack. But yeah, it was a
Isn't that
psyop.
wild that that's like that kind of training, like you just keep doing more and more and more of that type of training, you get on the level of or close to the level of like special forces training, right? I mean, obviously there's a lot of tactical stuff, but the physical part, you can't do it without the physical part.
Yeah. Well,
You've got
yeah,
to
I
get
can see
smoked.
that.
You've got to
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
Like you could be the
You got to
smartest
push your
dude
limit.
ever for, shooting, for tactics, with map reading, with,
Yep.
figuring out, how to figure out a mission and how to complete the mission. But if you don't have that physical part where, you've been strengthened from the inside,
Yep.
you ain't making it, bro.
And look, that was a struggle for me, bro. I was like 23. I
Yeah.
wasn't very physically active. Like I worked hard to be able to get to basic to pass a PD test. Of course, I got stronger as I went along. So, the Ranger program is way more than I was used to. It's like you got to do
Hmm.
5 miles in 40 minutes. Like I had to build up to that, you
Yeah.
know. The first time it was like, 50 minutes. The second time it was like 45. I had to build
Yeah.
up to that. And the Ranger 5 mile is way fucking different than this flat 5 mile track shit most of these units do. Like, hey, let's go
Hmm.
do, it's like, no, bro, you're up and down these long ass rolling
You're
hills.
off road. Yeah.
Any of the old Rangers that like class like 1103, like way back then, like they know that mile, man, that run. It's like up and down these hills. You reach the spot, you turn around, you do the same exact thing the other way back. And then there's the Derby Queen, this 14-mile march, like all this stuff. Like you condition yourself,
Yeah.
and eventually you become a hard ass. Like,
Yeah.
you're physically ready. Selection is a whole nother world. So I
Sure.
knew I would never make that. I mean, it would have been cool if they just said, "Hey, we think you'd make it cool, go to selection." But there was no dream in my mind that I would ever do that. It was cool that I was just walking amongst heroes, bro, to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, just kind of leeching off their style and learning the leadership and how they handle missions and stuff like that. It was just so cool. So I did
Yeah.
learn a lot.
There's definitely it's definitely smart kind of training the way they do, and it's necessary. Like it's not just physical fitness, right? Like you got guys in the real world that are bodybuilders, right? It takes a
Mhm.
lot of effort a lot of discipline, and a lot of strength training, obviously, to get to that point. You got people that do marathons, you got people that do triathlons and stuff like that. A lot of those guys wouldn't. That doesn't mean they could just go be a Green Beret, right?
Well, yeah, they
It's the
can't do that
combination,
without sleep. They can't do that without food. They can't
right?
do that when something's
Somebody
broken on
yelling
their
in your
body while
face.
while they're bleeding, while they're
Yeah,
getting half drowned, yeah, while they're sweating to death, your eyes are
yeah,
burnt, all these things. Yeah, that shit sucks. Look, dude, just the little prep stuff that they would make us do was a smoke fest.
yeah,
So, like, especially in Ranger Battalion, at brigade level, like we had to train every month with the Rangers. Like when they were walking to Derby, we were walking to Derby. It wasn't all of us, but certain certain ones of us that weren't tab pretty much had to get conditioned.
yeah.
So, we were doing all that stuff with them at times. So, and it smokes you. Yeah. That's
So
why my
what?
body hurts.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, age,
Oh yeah.
um, and being out of shape. I mean, for
Yeah.
myself, I'm talking about myself. As I got older, coming out of
Oh, I'm
this
there. I'm with you.
illness, being out of shape, I could tell a huge difference because when your
Well,
body's
you've
not
got a better
active.
excuse than I do, dude. You were freaking paralyzed.
Well,
Me,
I've
I'm
had,
trying to prevent that paralyzation of my body.
yeah, right. Well, especially
So,
if your job is sitting, if you have to sit at a computer or whatever, it's way more difficult. You
oh
really
yeah,
have
it's
to
killing
discipline
me.
yourself
Yep.
to do something outside of that. Yeah.
That's what Airsoft is for me, dude.
Yeah.
Every weekend, that's my physical fitness training program. I'm out
That's
there
cool.
doing that stuff. I can work out around the house, but I'm tied to my desk. So I get the weekends,
Yeah.
go out there and go hard. That's what I love about milsims because it forces me to go harder for
Hmm.
longer and gets me back into that muscle memory of doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So I can march for miles on end, bro, and never complain. Just do it. I'm
Uh-huh.
used to it. We used to run in ruck, like to beat those
Right.
times. You put 30 to probably about 30 pounds on, some
Sure.
shorts, condition your feet, we used jungle boots back then, throw your
Oh yeah.
jungles on and just go run, dude. You didn't have to run fast, just run.
Yeah.
Just stupid shit. Like when I was at regiment for the little time I was there, people were running morning PT with our fucking pro mask on, like for the NBC mask.
Oh really?
And that sucked because I can't breathe anyways when I run. And then doing that, it was like, "Ah, man, you're killing me, right?" But it
Yeah.
conditions you. I know what I'm capable of, right? I know I
Hmm.
can go a little bit further every time. I'm gonna go a little bit further. I'm gonna push myself a little bit harder. And that's kind of like what I'm doing with these kids in airsoft, right? They're not very well conditioned. So I'm like, look, go hard today, go a little bit harder next time. Push yourself.
Yeah.
If you can't make it, just stop, man. Take a break. you
Yeah.
know, don't kill
Yeah,
yourself.
you'd be all right. I was on the
Yeah.
NBC team the year I was in Okinawa, and we trained every
No,
couple
nice.
weeks. And so yeah, we'd have to do decons on the like decontamination on the
Full mop
vehicles.
gear.
You know, yep,
Oh
full
yeah.
mob gear,
Fuck
Gumby
that.
suit, fucking.
Yeah.
Oh
Gummy
yeah,
suit. Oh man.
oh yeah, dude. Yeah, good
Those were the
times. 90
days. Oh
degrees,
yeah.
90% humidity in Okinawa. Just full
I
rubber
would have
suit.
died. Yeah, I would have died.
I mean, we drink a lot of water. We were in shape, you know. You definitely sweat it out. Okay, I don't. If you don't feel good that morning, just go do that.
Oh yeah.
Everything that's not good in your body is out, bro. I'm telling you, you got nothing left. Okay, go replenish it with some alcohol that evening. You're good to
Yeah.
go for the next day. No,
Oh
drink lots of
boy.
water.
Yeah. Drink. Yeah.
Lots of
Drink
water.
it.
So you go to
Electrolytes.
the milsims. What kind of gear do you take? What kind of gun do you run? What's your favorite? What brand or whatever do you, are you? Yeah, did you have a gun built or did you just buy one off the shelf?
No. So I bought my first AEG. I'm a cheap son of a bitch, and I'm like, look, if I don't get into this, I would not have wanted to waste a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me buy an AEG. So I grab a Lancer Tactical, but I got a Gen 3. I knew that they've been given a lot of shit and they had a bunch of bad guns, but I wanted something cheap, something ultra lightweight, but it had all the metal internals. It had a trigger. It had all the cool stuff that you
Yep.
would typically pay for to add on. And I got a deal where it came with a sweet little AK style tracer. It came with, all the stuff, a sight and everything. So I still run that. I actually put my Goat Squad logo in it with my laser. I've
Oh,
upgraded
nice.
it. I put a, max hop and all these little things, I got it dialed in. It's for an AG. I wanted to fall in that rifleman class, and
Mm-hmm.
the field where we normally play has got a lot of younger kids, so I didn't want to be destroying everyone all the time. I'm just a
Right.
nice guy, so I can kill people all day long with this thing and have a blast. And I don't have the ego about the gear. I've grown out of that stuff, so
Good.
I'm just a practical guy.
Yeah.
Um, I've got an SSG-10 that I just recently got, thanks to one of my squad guys let me run his, and I fell in love with it. Right, I'm like, cool. This thing's a nail driver, so I've just kitted that one out. I just added a sweet new piston to it and got a new spring and stuff. So I'm working on that, and I have occasionally I'll run a little SMG. I've got a Nemesis X9. I love that little thing, a little
Oh, that's
50,
cool.
yeah, a little mag drum for it. I love running that, and a lot of pistols. Actually, Warwolf Airsoft. I know you're
Yep.
familiar with them.
Shout out Warwolf.
Yeah, shout out to Warwolf. Let me get something. It's right behind me.
Show it off.
Look, this dude is the man. If you don't know Werewolf, hook him up. Go check out his site, bro. Look, he hooked me up with this Terran Tactical Pit Viper, bro. It's dope. He just gave it to me, man. Kind of
Dude, that
like
looks nice. Yeah.
for being like a fellow promoter of airsoft and all that stuff. He like
Mm-hmm.
straight Werewolf is the shit.
Nice. Is he in your
My
area,
other
or how'd you run into him?
Yeah, he's actually he's in the area.
Okay.
And
Cool.
I guess he said he saw the Goat Squad YouTube and came out to Doomsday to meet us and started playing and started hooking everybody up, and he's been having a good time. He's a really solid dude, good player. He's more of like the speed softer kind of guy, but he plays well with us. Um, I've got a little Beretta M4 gas blowback just for the milsim factor.
Nice.
I wanted something with full auto just to play around with at the field, so I got that. Um, My first pistol I got was this 1911, bro. I mean, I'm a 1911 guy.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
just like for me, it's the perfect grip angle.
Yep.
You can't really see it, but I took my laser and I did a topographical map inlay all over the rail here.
Oh, that's cool. No,
Uh,
you can't see it though. Yeah.
yeah, and then in here I did like our Scream and Go Squad logo. So this is going to be like a piece, maybe I'll give it to one of my guys one day, or I'll just keep
Yeah.
it forever. I don't even shoot it anymore. My other most favorite. This is probably one of my most favorite guns. It's always a hit at the field. It's the little Colt, little
What the hell?
Springer.
Does that actually shoot?
Oh hell yeah, dude! It shoots .25,
What?
man. Yeah,
That's
.25, man.
crazy.
Oh, maybe I'll just hit my hand. Yeah, I'm out. What I love about it is like a kick gun just for fun. Like if someone does something stupid and I'm reffing,
It's the little gun from Men in Black.
yeah, I'll just pull that little thing out and pop somebody with it. It won't hurt them. So it's
Yeah.
like, you dummy. And I shoot my guys with it all the time. It's just fun to have,
Yeah, it's
Little
cool.
spring. One of my squad guys, he had the clear one, and I was like, oh, I need one. And they actually like have a gas version now, but it's super expensive. But
That's
I'm very
funny.
practical, man. I shoot like I know, like milsims, you're out there carrying stuff all day long, and I wanted that really light frame, but I don't want to be leashed to something. I like the Wolverine stuff. I'm probably looking at getting something from them. Like I want to try the Unleashed, but I know I'll probably end up going leashed because I don't think they're quite ready for full milsim use
Yeah.
without carrying a bunch of extra cans of shit. I know they have like the new buttstock that you can put like an HBA tank in there. Um, so it's just like I can be a reservist and not shoot a lot and probably last all day. But if I
Right.
do get to like a lot of times, if I'll go through ammo all day because I don't care. I will pin you down, bro. If
Oh
I
yeah.
see that I can pin you down, I'm gonna sit there until I got reinforcements coming and
Hmm.
my guys are flanking you. Like we're on the radio, I'm just shooting. I don't give a shit if I'm hitting anything. You're
No,
not coming toward me,
that's
and
what
that's
real
what
cover
matters.
fire is supposed to be.
Exactly. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
and so there's times when like that's what my AG is great for, or even the LMG that we have. We have the old school classic Army M249. Some of it's just
Nice.
heavy, so I hate having to carry it because it's like
Yep.
carrying a brick around. But I can just sit there and spray ammo all day. I'm good to go. I'll throw the cheapest ammo I can get in there just for fire for effect kind of thing. But
How'd you
yeah,
come up with
look.
Screaming Ghost Squad? What was that?
I mean, that's the sound you make when you get hit by a BB, bro. Ah, right. And that I know Tim's doing his bit on that, like the goat. You're not the greatest of all time. It's not the screaming greatest of all time squad. It's the screaming goat squad, bro.
It's
And
literally goat.
yeah, you're literally all screaming goats. You just don't
Right.
know it. When you get hit, you scream, right? It's like ah, right in the sweet spot.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, it was just something to have fun to give these guys kind of a structure. A little bit of the camaraderie, like teaching them like leadership and team stuff and
Yeah.
how to work together and building that camaraderie. Uh, and so far, we're doing really great. Like I think there's a core group of us that go to milsims, like probably 13 of us that have the money, have the time, and have the
Yeah.
gear. And then there's like so overall, there's probably like 30 something of us in the squad. So we have our local squad, then we have
Yeah.
our Milsim squad, and we have like a prospect squad. Um,
Okay.
so it's kind of like your jump. If you're local, you want to get into Milsims, you'll go into the prospect squad, and we'll teach you everything and tell you everything you need to get. You'll go to a couple of events, and once we realize you can operate with us without embarrassing us or hurting us, you can come join us at the Milsim.
Right.
So
How
that's
was
that's
this
pretty
last
much.
event? Did you guys have a bunch of your team go to the VFA event?
We ended up with about I think there was about 5 of us, um, due to circumstances. But yeah, we had a blast. We ended up playing with another local squad, team Veritas Invictus. Had a blast with all of them. Of course, it was kind of TCA related in the sense. So a lot of the familiar people that we play with at TCA were at Freddie's event, and that was really cool to see a lot of those guys,
Yeah.
especially Dagger Six. He's always fun to run with. Um, so yeah, we had a good time. That was a great event. It wasn't as much milsim as it was more of like a scenario thing, and
Yeah.
that was kind of a refresher. Um, very similar still the gameplay overall. I mean, you're still a unit. You still got a mission. You're getting little fragos and things to go do, little things,
Right.
kind of similar. But yeah, it was a good time. So looking forward to Sirius Viking is I think December this year. So that's like something that the Ghost Squad's gonna pretty be heavily in. I'm gonna try to
Okay.
bring as many people as possible. I don't know how many people will make it, but we're gonna get there. And do our best.
Hell
Try to
yeah,
get a
dude.
full roster. I mean, if we go too many people, we'll have to split it up because there's only so many people that can fit in the squad in the platoon. So
Right.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. They do their best though, especially TCA. Like when you have a large group, they try to pair you up the best they can. So I think we'll be fine. How about
That's good,
yourself, man? You,
man.
you you doing any airsoft personally, or you got anything planned?
So I had planned to go to I don't know the name of the event actually. It's the one from Jackal Tactical. He was telling me about it when I talked to him a month ago, and it's in December. I mean September. It's down here in South Carolina. So I was planning on going to that until last week. I found out my niece up in Ohio is getting married that
Oh,
same
nice.
weekend. So we're
Congrats
gonna
to
go up
her.
there and see my mom. We were planning on going to see my mom. I haven't seen my like visited my mom in 3 years, I think. So we talk, FaceTime, that kind of thing. She's up in Ohio. We're in South Carolina,
Yeah.
and I'll do a video call with her to, like when our grandkids are over and stuff, and to show her all the kids. She'll talk to everybody. But we haven't been up there to visit in a couple years. So we were planning on going in April, like this month, and
Yeah.
then we found out she was getting uh, married on that weekend, whatever. So we're we knew she was getting married. The date changed or something like that. So it's for venue, but
What part of
so
South Carolina are you in, man? Like, cause like we're
Greenville.
doing Barnwell is where Stonebreaker is. So
Yeah,
if you get a chance,
Barnwell
man.
is. Yeah, so well, when I was talking to a couple of the guys, a handful of people that I've talked to are going there,
Yeah,
and I'm only 2.5 hours from there.
dude, you
So
should, if even if you can't get a ticket, like you should show up and do your podcast in the parking lot, bro.
yeah,
Like, there's
that's
plenty
what.
of room.
So actually, Pink Unicorn just hit me up a couple days ago on Discord and was like, "Hey man, I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
ship,
the guns. Yeah, he hit
yeah,
me up.
ship
I'm
all these
like,
guns."
bro, why don't you just take them yourself? You're going. He's like,
He's
this is the reason.
flying.
I'm like, ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I told him if he's
Oh
flying
man,
into GSP, Greenville Spartanburg Airport, that
yeah.
that airport's only like 20 minutes from my house.
Oh,
So
right on. Yeah.
yeah, so if he flies into there, I could definitely meet him somewhere and hook, give him the guns or whatever. He can ship it
Right.
here, and we're in a really good spot where we're at to get deliveries.
Okay.
So nothing ever gets. We're kind of far from the road, but it's real easy access. The driveway is real easy access for the UPS drivers,
Right.
FedEx drivers, whatever. So, but everyone on our street has guns, and they're always shooting in their backyards. So no one ever steals anything out of anyone's house around this whole street. Okay,
Yeah. Sounds like my house. We're
everyone
out in a
knows.
rural area. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I came back from that milsim and they had E4 effects there, which were awesome. If you've never heard of E4 effects, look them up, man.
What is it?
They do a lot. It's a simulation company. They do like milsim, like sound simulation. So they have simulation
Uh,
rifles out there, blank fires and
yeah.
explosions and stuff. So all weekend, boom, 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 bang, bang, bang. Like I come home, I'm like, all right, I'm back out in the country, nice and peaceful. Well, my neighbor
Your neighbor.
around the bend got
Yeah.
himself an AK or some shit, and he's out there, blah, 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 blah. Like, bro,
That's
call it a
awesome.
night. Yeah,
All right.
so I hear you, man. I'm in
You
the same
thought you
boat.
had a break, okay?
Yeah, yeah, no, never a rest out here.
So that was
But
my only event I was planning on going to. Um,
right on.
so
Well,
I'm
come out,
actually
man.
so I'm starting. Uh, I might be starting a new job next week, and
Okay,
working with this guy in a fact. This guy that I met through Ubering, actually, he owns factories
okay.
and builds them up, whatever, and sells them. And so he wants to bring
Oh
me in for
yeah.
a project to fix this one up he just started on, and I already
My
walked through the
warrant
client and
buddy,
everything.
that's the first thing he's doing when he finally retires. He's building a factory. So
Really?
that's cool. I might have to tap you and him and get some knowledge,
You know what's
because he's starting
funny
from the ground
that,
up, dude.
that you say that? This guy wasn't in the military, but he went to college and stuff out of high school.
Hmm.
His dad worked on heavy machinery, heavy equipment,
Okay.
like diesel. He's a diesel mechanic. He's a mechanic for all things
Everything.
automotive,
Yeah,
and
he's got it.
also
Right.
big equipment, and also fixes, like, the big generators, the big AC units that they send overseas, right? When
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Afghanistan and Iraq and all that kind of stuff. So all this heavy equipment. So he was doing that years and years, 30 some years ago. Well, when GWAT started, he got in with Halliburton and
Cool.
got the contract to go over there and his crew and fix all your all's machines. Okay,
Okay.
uh, heavy
Like all the
equipment.
Generacs and yeah,
Yep,
MRAPs and
yep,
shit like that. Yeah.
exactly. So anything like that, the military
Like when
can't,
Sergeant
Mex
Lee
couldn't do.
jumps an MRAP 4 feet in the air, blows an axle out while he's hauling ass at 70 miles an hour on his way to Balad and Taji. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I get it.
Exactly. So his
Yeah.
dad's like a multimillionaire now. He's been doing it for whatever, so many years. He's had these contracts. So I think that's where this guy kind of started his factory, buying factories. But anyway,
Cool.
so this is a very new, just in the last week or so, 10 days, that new information. So I entertain the idea of going to Stonebreaker because it's so close,
Hmm.
but starting this new project, I'm not sure how much time it's going to
Yeah.
commit me to. So I
I
don't.
mean, if you can make it, we'd love to have
Right.
you. If not,
Yeah.
it is what it is, man. There's going to be plenty more, I
I've
don't
been
think we're going
to
to
two of
stop
them.
doing it. Cool.
I've been at two Stonebreakers, 2 years in a row, and
So yeah, this is Stonebreaker 10. So
yeah.
yeah.
So my boys started. Their first Stonebreaker was 2020.
So then
Yeah,
Stonebreaker 6.
and then uh, they went to every single one after that until last year. Yeah,
Cool.
and I went
So
to two of them.
they know the deal.
They know
Gotcha.
the deal, and they've probably been to 10 different milsims altogether, different
Right on.
from different hosts and stuff like that. So
I'm catching up to him. I'm still kind of new to the Milsim thing.
yeah,
Like I said, I played paintball. To me, airsoft just wasn't. I thought it was for kids,
right.
I didn't realize there was all these grown-ass men running around here LARPing as soldiers, shooting each other with full metal LMGs, and HPAs. I was like, "Wow, this is cool!" Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it's cool, man. It's good times. I had a great
yeah, it
time.
is.
What was cool too, the second time I went, is when I was starting to do the podcast, and I met up with, I don't know, 7 or 8 people that I'd had on the podcast. So I got to meet them in real life. Admin
That's
Airsoft
cool.
out of Florida. Uh, Radar is up in New York, Pennsylvania area.
Okay.
He was in the Marine Corps, so I had him on the
Hey,
podcast. I
Rob.
had yeah, had Mr. OT, him and his team. They were
I gotta meet him eventually. Hope so.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a good dude, man.
Cool.
Uh,
I keep hearing good things. I keep hearing his name every now and then, so I
yeah,
think I need to
the
say
tryhards I
hello.
met there. So I got to meet a handful of people that I had on the podcast, which was really cool.
I know.
So it was fun. It's fun, and I love
It
doing
always
that.
it is fun to put a face with the name and stuff and get out
Yeah,
there and just that face to face, man. We're all just people. We're all just out having a
yeah,
good time,
just having a good time, man. It's fun.
right? I don't
It's
let
not
this
too
shit become my
serious.
ego. Yeah, it's not my ego. It's like I'm not
Yeah.
better than anyone. I'm probably the worst airsofter known to man, but dude, I'm having a fucking blast. I have a good time. I really just like being resourceful and helping people. And I see like when you go to Milsims and you got a bunch of guys standing around, they don't know what the hell they're doing. Like somebody's got to step up.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be that guy. And
Oh yeah.
I've always had to do that anyway. So it's like, my first Milsim with TCA, our mission, it was a tier 1 mission. So I'm like, all right, cool. We go into this building, it's 3 stories high. They're like, all right, we gotta find this body. It's a wounded person, right? It's an evac scenario. So I'm like, look, bro, I'm a disabled veteran. I don't need to be the guy doing that. You got all these young motherfuckers out here. And he's like,
Yep.
oh, you're a disabled veteran? You're perfect for this. Go grab this dude, suture all of his wounds, patch him up, put some tourniquet on it, pick him up, take him down to the bottom floor, and get him ready for the cracker box to come pick him up. Go. I'm like, fuck, okay. you know,
Nice.
I tried to weasel my way out of it, but I couldn't. And I gotta tell you, man, I made it. It was hot as shit. It's in the summer, man, and I'm like
Yeah.
dying. I'm hydrated. I'm overhydrated. I'm so hydrated, I flushed out all my electrolytes.
Oh
So
yeah.
by the time we get down
Getting
to the
cramps.
first floor, yeah, I'm like, I look at my
Oof.
battle bro, Tony. I'm like, bro, you gotta do this. He's like, I got you, man. Because at that point we're under fire too. So I'm trying to my best just not to throw up. I'm cramping. So
Mm.
thank God this dude had some squinchers on him. I pounded a squincher
Oh,
real quick, more
nice.
water, started feeling better. Got the hell out of there. But it was a good night. So it's little things like that you learn, you live, you
Yeah.
learn. So now I keep electrolytes on the handy. I got the tablets, I got the powders, I got the syrups. I got what you
Oh,
need.
if anyone out there goes through, if you don't know what we're talking about, when you start getting cramps, okay, like I can handle all the other symptoms of dehydration
Hmm.
more like easier or better than I can cramps. Muscle cramps are insane, okay? Like they're it's something you cannot control.
Nope.
And when you're trying to sneak and peek or whatever, like you're trying to crouch in somewhere, yeah, fucking forget it, okay?
Yep.
You crouch somewhere, your hamstring goes, oh, but you're gonna have to. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're laying ambush. You're straightening that leg out, okay? Because
Bro.
that thing is about to
Yeah.
rip your ligaments out.
And I let it get so bad, it was pretty much waist down, was
Uh-huh.
almost like you couldn't move. I was
Yeah.
like, man. And then my son, so he was on the other spectrum of dehydration. He was at the vomiting kind of thing. He was like getting clammy and shit. So
Mm-hmm.
he just wasn't drinking. He wasn't used to drinking so much water, right? And
Yeah.
we had plenty of stuff and he knew what to do. He just
Uh-huh.
wasn't doing it. And so he still made it, but he was that guy that they had to come grab him, take his shirt off, give him the IV right there in front of everybody, and that
Oh
really kind of broke him
shit.
in. I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
welcome to the army, bro. You're embarrassed. Now you're one of us. You fit right
Mm-hmm.
in. You did some stupid shit. You made it through it. Welcome. It was
Yeah.
good times though. But yeah, I had to walk back. I was like, dude, there's no way I'm getting on that cracker box with him. I'm not gonna be that guy. Like I
Yep.
know better, right? I knew better. We were drinking. That was a problem. I drank too much, so my cramping ass walked 200 yards to the aid station where
Ooh.
he was and just dealt with it. That's
Oh
that
yeah.
ranger mentality and that shit they
Yeah.
teach you. How can we make this suck harder? Let's just suck it up and drive on. It was so
You were
stupid, man.
your leg muscles were sore for a freaking week, bro. I promise you.
It was so stupid, but I made it. I saved face. I
That's
learned my
awesome.
lesson. Yep,
Right.
that is what it is.
So what? So you guys are going to Stonebreaker, and then do you guys have like a plan, a schedule, or itinerary for your team that of big milsims you want to go to this year?
We do. We
Goals?
kind of keep it internal. Our goals, like, yeah, we're
Okay.
going to finish out the TCA tour. I think they're going to shut down after Stonebreaker, and then there's going to be a break. We might hit some more stuff that the VFA has planned
Yeah.
coming into the fall. Um, there's some stuff Milsim Mercs is going to be doing. They're a new outfit that's starting up out of Tennessee.
I
So if you
just followed
haven't,
their Facebook page
okay,
today.
cool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, those good group of dudes, man. Really great dudes. I've had some
Good.
of the best times playing with all the guys up in Tennessee. So shout
That's
out to
good to
Milsim
hear because
Mercs.
I'm about to invite them on the podcast. So okay.
Oh, you're gonna
Cool.
love them, man. Yeah, great dudes,
Awesome.
dude. I mean, like I met them just like I'm meeting you. We've gotten along. That
Yeah.
they were the ones that actually like had me be the Russian unit commander. Like, dude reached out to me.
Okay.
He's like, "Hey, we don't have a commander." I'm like, "Well, I told you, I'm your backup. I'll do it. When I promise somebody something, I'm gonna do it, right?"
Right.
So, good times, man. I had the best time with those guys. So yeah, we'll try to fall in on whatever they've got going on. I think they have this big like drug cartel game coming up. So, of course, I've got to come up with some kind of cool Maxim Kuzlov shit to beat that.
I love
Um,
it, dude.
oh
Yeah, that'd
yeah,
be interesting. Okay.
yeah, and then yeah, really just staying on VFA TSA circuit. So it's any event that pops up, I won't be a TCA Stonebreaker. I just missed out on that one, but
Yeah.
the Ghost Squad will be there. So we'll be at like pretty much every milsim, at least one rep because our sponsor Phil, which is Doomsday Paintball and Airsoft Park, they actually now sponsor TCA. And I think they're like the
Oh,
only
nice.
field to ever be able to do that for certain reasons. But
Yeah.
so they will be at every event regardless. And so just naturally, we'll
Dude, that's
probably try to
cool,
be at all
man.
of them. Yeah, it's good stuff. They
I like
also
to hear
built out
that.
a technical
Okay.
vehicle for that too. So they're bringing the pain. They'll be giving out some really dope rifles for the raffle that are all Cerakoted and customized.
What?
Yeah, good stuff. So shout out to Doomsday as well. So we'll be, kind of following that circuit.
Yeah.
Mostly TCA, VFA, and Milsim Mercs. I did an AMS event. It was kind of Milsim. It was more like a scenario, like kind of a
Yeah.
scenario thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they come back in our area, we'll give them another try. The players that attended were all cool, and that's what really matters to me the most is the
Yeah.
crowd, how everyone plays together.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody can, go set up an event, so to say. Others are just better at it. So
Right. Yeah, man. Shout out to Third Coast Airsoft. If you guys hear us saying TCA, that's what we're talking about. If you've never heard of them, go check out their all their socials. Shout out to VFA, which is Veterans for Airsoft. I just had Freddie Lux on not even a month ago. Yeah, big heart to Freddie. Um, Shout out to those guys and shout out to Doomsday, man. That's cool that
indeed,
they're
man.
getting involved in. I literally just found out about their their group and their field or whatever from Sean Wayne on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
yeah, I had actually met Sean Wayne before the folks at Doomsday and played with them at Mount Doom. And unfortunately, Doug, the guy that owned Mount Doom, he finally decided to retire and close that
right.
down. But Doomsday, they were originally a haunted location, and they do that every year. That's their big thing is they're a
Yeah,
haunted attraction. And they just decided to let us play airsoft there, and now it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We're doing more and more and more. You put the right people in on it, we'll take you somewhere, right? So
right.
hopefully, hopefully there's a lot of big plans. Really great people. The owners are sweethearts. Like, and I know people. I'm a good radar for bullshit.
Yeah.
I just have a sense for it. So good
Uh-huh.
people, man. Same thing with you know, everyone has growing pains. You live, you learn. You know,
Oh,
every
absolutely.
day can't be perfect, but yeah, they're a good field. So I do recommend if you know anyone's in my area, if they haven't been out there, they need to definitely get out there, enjoy it.
Nice. Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for being on, dude. It's been great talking with you. Good to meet you. I'm glad we got to do this tonight. And the original link I sent you for the Zoom meeting was for last night, and it was yeah. Anyway,
Shit
that was
happens, man.
my bad. So
It's all good.
I'm glad we had to get on here, man. It was really good meeting you and talking
You
with
too,
you.
man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. We'll definitely have to do it again. I would love to do a team one with you
Okay.
and a handful of your guys
Oh, too easy.
from Screaming Ghost Squad. You know, like in a couple months or whatever.
Maybe I can get them to do that. We'll see. They're kind of shy, you know.
That's all right.
They don't
Hell
want their
yeah.
CIA handler knowing what they're doing, you know.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I hear that. And actually, we've had people on that did not want to show their face. So they wore a mask, they
Yeah.
wore, a pullover, whatever, like a visor, all kind of shit,
Yeah, but I've been doxxed
sunglasses.
so many times, like by the feds themselves. I don't care anymore. I am who I am. I got nothing to hide, you know.
Yeah, they already know all this shit about
Yeah,
me anyway. Whatever,
yeah.
dude.
If you
You know.
Google me hard enough, you might find my
Oh,
address.
serious. Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that shit's out the window, man.
Oh yeah.
Like people being, yeah, if you know somebody's first and last name, you're, we can find you. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Awesome, man. I appreciate you. Have a good night, brother.
You too, man. Take care.
All right. Bye bye.